low, 2000, baby. Eden Palms, Monterey Road, I'm a project, baby. Eagles Drive, we was at Oak Grove, barely graduated. We got Tasha, Molly, Bodie, Corbett, they gon' have to hate us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the New Media Podcast. I'm your host, Ya. We hope you enjoyed the last episode because, as always, today's going to be an even better episode. I got the whole crew with me. Everybody's in the house, but today's another special day. A couple episodes ago, we had our very first special guest, but today we got another special guest, the one and only, the biggest Cowboys fan in the world. I'm going to let him introduce himself right now. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad to be a part of New Media today. As Yahya said, biggest Cowboys fan out there. My name is Mahad. For the folks that don't know me, also go by Mahad Pacific. If you want to check me out on all streaming platforms, also make a couple songs. Won't be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys, regression. I know you've got this guy right here. Abdi talk about regression, how the Cowboys defense would be boo-boo, but looking like the Packers defense is boo-boo, you know what I'm saying? So
speak your truth, man. Speak your truth.
I'm not gonna say nothing, bro. I'm gonna wait.
We're gonna get to the Cowboys.
I want Abdi to come off mute and define the word regression. Please, brother. Come on down.
What the Packers are right now. That's what regression is.
Exactly. So why would you compare the Cowboys defense and just the Cowboys overall team to the Packers, bro? The Packers, bro, the offense is mid. That offense is smelly. Ugh. Literally.
I can't like talking about mid offenses and you bring up the Cowboys. You guys are just as mid as us. But okay.
No. First and foremost,
you guys kind of stink. Right?
We'll go ahead and get to Green Bay and Dallas a little later. But for those of you that don't know, our outro song is made from Mahad. That's Mahad's song that's on our outro. So just for the folks that didn't know. But of course, as always, we're gonna get into our week 7. We're gonna give our recap and our thoughts on what happened this past week. And of course, before we jump into that, temperature check. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Let's kick it off.
Woo! Seattle, baby. 4-3. We here, man. I'm telling y'all are 0-4 going against Seattle. Like, y'all got to come to my side. Come with Geno Smith. Come with my players. You know what I'm saying? We got a squad over here. I'm telling you, we got a squad.
Hey, we got a squad out here too, man. Dallas, we them boys. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yeah, everybody got a winning record in here, but one team.
I can't let this little Geno Smith insanity run. I can't wait for it to end. I can't wait for this little cute run to end, man.
Hey, man, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that run's ending anytime soon. I gotta give him respect, man. But of course, my team had a bye week. But let's go ahead and jump right into week 7. The very first game that kicked us off. The New Orleans Saints on the road playing the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals win this one 42-34. Very good defensive outing for this team. The Cardinals, 2 pick sixes in a matter of like 5 minutes.
Well, I just don't like Kyler Murray, man. And you guys know this. I've spoken about Kyler Murray. I'm not a fan of Kyler Murray. Like, the whole incident with him yelling at his coach is just, this guy's personality is just toxic as a quarterback. And I feel like there's a lot of friction going on between him and Cliff Kingsbury. So, I mean, it's a good win for the Cardinals. And again, the Saints somehow still put up points while throwing pick sixes. Like, that's just crazy to me. And Olave, that guy's just, I think he's the best rookie wide receiver in his class. No question in my mind. That guy is he's just amazing. And I feel like if the Saints just had a legitimate quarterback right now, their record might have been better. So it's a tough loss for them. But again, the Cardinals needed this one. To keep up with Geno Smith, right? So it's a good win.
Man, Arizona, man. I'll be speaking about the incident between Cliff and Kyler Murray. I feel like it's not the first time they got into it. But at the same time, the way Murray, just yelling at his head coach, like he's a 5-year-old child not getting his way, man. Like DeAndre Hopkins over there standing next to him, like, yo, calm down, man, calm down. But it's a good win for the Cardinals, although the defense did give up a lot of points. But Cardinals defense finally showing up, man. They ended up the game with 2 pick sixes. They played fantastic. But the Saints, I don't know, man. It's just quarterback situation. Olive's playing fantastic, but you got MT hurt. You're not playing Jameis. Andy Don is just a guy that, he's not going to start on a lot of teams. So Saints, 2-5?
2-5 right now.
2-5. It's looking very bad for them. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully they get a top pick. I mean, they don't have a top pick. That's the funny part. Eagles have their top 10 pick. So
yeah,
it's looking very rough for the Saints. It's going to be a Jameis Winston and an Andy Don future for them, and I don't think that's going to be very successful.
Yo, Michael Thomas though, like we need to have a discussion about this guy and his injuries though.
At this
It's
point, he's like
huddling.
an NFT, man. He don't exist in my book.
He's
It's
not
crazy.
really-
Like it seems like he gets small injuries, but he's always out 7, 8, 9, 10 games, and it's crazy. It might be a little ankle injury.
Like I thought this guy was coming back like 3 weeks ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know about
I
the
thought he
Saints.
was
Okay, win for the Cardinals, but I'm gonna pass it on to Mud.
Yeah, I mean, just to add on, like to what y'all were saying, yeah, I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray fan, and I'm not a humongous, Cardinals fan either. I don't understand why the Cardinals are losing, games like this when they should be one of the best teams, in that division. Truthfully, like I think, the talent that they have offensively is enormous. You have obviously you got D-Hop that came back now, didn't miss a beat. You had Hollywood Brown, great deep threat. Prove me wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna play bad.
You're the biggest you're the biggest hater.
He hated Hollywood
Yeah,
Brown for so long.
bro,
I
was
don't
calling
blame him,
Hollywood
though.
Brown Skid Row Brown, bro. I was calling him Skid Row Brown. I was like, he does not.
guy's
he-
Butterfingers, man.
He does not deserve that name to be Hollywood, bro. Like he was dropping easy passes with the Ravens, like easy touchdowns, and then he was complaining about it. So I mean, shit. Like, excuse my language, but shoot, you know what I mean? He's proven his worth. So with the Cardinals, so shout out to him. James Conner, I'm not really a big fan of him, but I mean he's all right. Also Zach Ertz, man, he's been balling out too. So shout out to Zach Ertz. But yeah, the Cardinals, I mean, this was a must-win game for them. I mean, it was a tough loss for the Saints, like as you said. I mean, the Saints defense is, they have a great defense, but with no quarterback and
I feel like those 2 pick sixes really killed the Saints. The back-to-back.
But
pick-
like that was just demoralizing.
yeah,
that
it's
one-
that's Andy Dalton for you though, man.
I mean,
Like,
I still feel like the Saints are in a good spot when we think about it, because they're sitting at 2-5, and we're
That
over
division
everything.
stinks though. That
Yo,
division.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
division is
Yeah,
the
that
worst,
division
one of the worst
smells, yeah.
divisions, right? And we're going to talk
Yeah.
about the Bucks short in a little bit,
Mhm.
right? They're the Saints. They've struggled the entire year. They haven't had their weapons, right? They haven't had their quarterback to start things off, and they still got 2 wins, and they're 1 game behind, a team like the Panthers and a team like the Buccaneers. So, like, what can the Saints do, to get themselves back in that race when they get their weapons back, right? So it's just a matter of putting it all together, and I feel like they can still do it. They have the time, and everybody in the division just being trash is definitely helpful. So, it's a bad loss, but at the same time, it's a win at the end of the day, because the Buccaneers, a team that's supposed to win that division, lost this week, so it's not going to really hurt, and they're banking on getting Michael Thomas back, and I'm sure Jameis will get his spot back as soon as possible, but I'm not sure if he was active this past Thursday.
I think he was active past Thursday. I
And
think
he
they
still
just
went with
Dalton.
Dalton?
They still went with Dalton. That's the funny
Really?
part.
Yeah, they got to switch that up, man. If Jameis is healthy, he's their best quarterback.
100%.
They not trying to eat the dub.
They not, man. But overall, good one for the Cardinals, though. D-Hop, he looked like he didn't skip a beat. That's one of the best receivers in this league. I feel like people have forgot about him due to the suspension. But Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, I feel like Cliff Kingsbury, his time in Arizona is coming to an end real soon, depending on how this season turns out for them. They're sitting at 3-4 right now, and a very close race in that division as well. But if you're beefing with a starting quarterback that you just paid $250 million, I mean, you don't have long left as a head coach for that team. But I guess it's a good one for them. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. It was the Atlanta Falcons on the road playing Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals come out scorching hot. They win this one 35-17. Joe Burrow, another 4-touchdown week. Hey man, I think it's safe to say he's back. He is back.
Since that week 1, man, Joe Burrow, like that 5-pick game or that 4-pick game is out of his mind. These last 2 weeks, this guy's just been incredible. Back-to-back multi-touchdown weeks. I mean, Jamar Chase is what we've been waiting for him. We knew that he had the talent. It just felt like the offense wasn't performing up to his standards. And we said that it was a get right week last week. And ever since then, they've been firing on all cylinders. And this division, it's one where they're keeping up with Lamar, and the Ravens are kind of struggling offensively. So these are the kind of wins that they need if they want to win this division. So it's good. It's a good win for the Bengals. So.
My guy Joe Burrow is back, man. There have been a lot of haters on his case talking about he's not this guy, he's not that guy. And it's the funny part is when his O-line gives up the most sacks, right? They don't say, oh, it's the O-line's fault, but it's Burrow's fault. But when we get to Herbert, it's a whole different story. It's a whole different story. But we ain't get, we're going to speak about that at a different time today. But The Bengals look like they're back. The offense is looking very, very great. I feel like Zach Taylor's kind of letting Burrow throw the ball deep more. It's no more on the little 5-yard outs.
Samaje P. Ryan throws.
Yeah, it's none of that little 5-yard outs, curl routes, this and that. You know, the ball's going deep, getting the ball in your playmaker's hands, like Tyler Boyd, 65-yard touchdown. Like I said, throw the ball deep. They're going to be successful. So great win for the Bengals. And Atlanta, man, I got questions for Arthur Smith. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, you run the ball. I don't know how much times he ran the ball that game, but I'm pretty sure Mariota only had like 14 passes. And it's like
13 passing attempts. That's actually
13 passing attempts, right? You drafted Drake London. You have Kyle Pitts, and you're not using your 2 offensive skill players like that. I'm really questioning Arthur Smith a lot right now. And this has been going on this whole season. So it's been very tough for Atlanta. I mean, they got 2 wins, right? 2 or 3?
I think they got 2 wins.
2 wins. Like I said, in the trash division, they're right there, but it's just I feel like
3 wins, 3 and 4. I'm sorry, 3 and 4.
3 and 4. See, they haven't been playing bad this year, and
Because they beat the Niners last week.
they beat Niners, they beat Seattle, and I forgot who they beat the first time. But yeah, Atlanta, man, Arthur Smith, man, let the ball loose, man. Kyle Pitts is embarrassing. You drafted him very early. He's a very skillful player. You're not using him at all. So
Yeah.
Atlanta, you know, they're gonna go back to the drawing board in the trash division. It's not too bad for them. They got 3 wins. They're probably tied for the most wins in that division with the Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So it's good. But the Bengals, Joe Burrow, man, back-to-back weeks, cook-up session. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from him, and Bengals are looking good right now. So
Yep. I mean, I agree. Honestly, with what you're saying, Big H, on Arthur Smith, like you would think and assume the Falcons have an elite running back and a great running back committee. Bro, I can't name you who the running back is other than Cordell Patterson. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
And he's hurt.
Yeah, and he's hurt. So it's like, what are you doing? It's like you said, you have Kyle Pitts, you have Drake London, you have Marcus Mariota who can run and throw the ball. It's
He's
like
not a bad passer either. So that's the
yeah,
funny
he's
part.
not bad, bro. So it's like just utilize him, bro. Like if I think what's crazy is I feel like the Falcons could have been like what the Seahawks are, right? On offense, on offense, what they are on offense.
Mhm.
I really feel like they could be like that if Arthur Smith knows how to.
I mean, they
utilize
have the pieces, so
They
I
have
can see
playmakers,
why.
man.
They have the pieces.
They
so
have
it's like,
playmakers on that team.
I can't let
Exactly.
say Calvin Ridley too, bro.
yeah,
Like, we'd be
he's
talking
out for
about
the,
that.
he's been for the whole season, right?
Yeah,
he's not
we'd be
back till
talking
next year,
about
man.
that. We'd be talking about him way different.
Yeah.
No, next year I'm telling you, the Falcons, watch out, bro. If they get a quarterback, that team, bro, they're gonna be a great.
They got to
offense,
get rid of
bro.
Arthur.
No,
Smith, though.
Arthur Smith got to go though at first. He got to go.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, like you drafted a tight end is that high, and you don't like he's a wide receiver. It's not even a tight end. He's really a wide receiver. That guy's
Yeah.
he's like a 6'5", 6'6".
Unicorn.
Like this, I was saying he's built like a wide receiver, and you like what are you using him for? You know?
Bro, they sent him on like a jet sweep type pass. And Cheeto, shout out my guy Cheeto, you know, Bengals player, you feel me? San Jose, Oak Grove product. That's my guy right there. But they sent Kyle Pitts. They sent Kyle Pitts on a jet pass sweep. And it was just nasty. Like, yo, you're supposed to give him a jump ball, but you're sending him on sweeps to catch the ball like that. Embarrassing. It is just bad. So
I gotta give it to Cheeto, man. That was a hell of a play by him.
a hell of a
At
play.
the goal
1
line,
yard line? Hell of a play.
That's a crazy stop, man. But I won't say too much about the Falcons. I think you guys have said everything I was gonna say. But man, my MVP pick, Joe Burrow. The first couple of weeks it was shaky, but somebody get the word out because we back up, man. 4 touchdowns in back-to-back weeks, 2 rushing touchdowns, something that he doesn't really do quite often. But Zach Taylor, I don't know what happened and what he's done with this offense. His play calling, somebody definitely pressed him in that locker room for sure. Because now we're seeing all the deep plays. We're seeing the big plays of Tyler Boyd. We're seeing the big plays of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
You know, even T. Higgins, he finished with about 93 yards, but it was the quietest 93 yards you could ever watch in a game because you already have 2 guys that are going over $130. With Tyler Boyd going for 8 receptions, 155 yards and a touchdown, and Chase finished with 8 catches, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this is what I expected from this Bengals football team when I predicted them to, be in the AFC Championship game and to be in the Super Bowl again. Just because of what they have on offense. Joe Burrow, he can lead your team, but the investment that they made in the offseason has to pay off. And after these last couple of weeks, it's definitely been paid off. Of course, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Joe Mixon. When you got those skilled guys at those positions, you have to be putting up points like this, 35 a week. Like you have to be putting up touchdowns. Almost every drive has to end up in points, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Joe Burrow because, of course, everybody had their question marks about how him coming into his second year, his true second year, quote unquote. It's coming off a Super Bowl run. People, they had their fun the first couple of weeks, but I'm glad my boy's back on track. And I mean, he's probably not going to win that MVP award that I predicted, but he's definitely going to put up some numbers this year. So I'm glad to see the Bengals are right back on track and in a very close division where, Lamar, he's struggling right now, but at the end of the day, he could pick it up at any time that he wants. So a good one for the Bengals. But of course, it's only right that we get into this very next game. It's the only reason why Muhad's here today. The Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. Lions on the road. Dak Prescott's return. The Cowboys sitting at 5-2. They win this game 24-6. Did the Lions even score a touchdown, or was it just 2 field goals? Yeah,
Nah,
no
man,
touchdowns.
they didn't score a touchdown. They almost scored a touchdown, but 11 from heaven, future defensive player of the year, Michael Parsons, with a great stop on the tight end at the goal line. After that, getting the strip fumble from Jamal Williams' bum ass. You know what I mean? Sorry for my language, but you know what I mean? We got the big stop that we needed, bro. But let's just to get into the overall game, man. That's what we're here for, right? But man, bro, just to start off, bro, first and foremost, y'all seen what Dak could do, right?
Yeah,
Healthy,
decent
right?
game.
Y'all-
I'll
He
give
had
it
a
to you.
decent game, but
y'all
I
seen
didn't
his lips,
expect
right?
him.
No,
No, I didn't
y'all seen
expect him to go crazy though.
Yeah.
So I expect him to
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, he
Y'all
did
seen-
good
y'all
enough.
seen-
It was his first game back in a couple.
Y'all, y'all seen his glimpse, right?
Yeah,
Y'all
just a
seen his
little
glimpse,
bit.
right? That offense, when they're healthy, is by far one of the most deadliest offenses in the NFC, bro. That offense is legit with the chemistry, bro. Dak Prescott,
Yo,
Zeke
be
is back.
serious. Like, be serious, man. Like,
Bro,
Hey,
you
not
need
even-
to
they're 5-1. Let
Bro,
us
you
speak.
need
no,
game
no,
one
but
that
hold
was
up.
hating on the count. So look,
We're
bro,
talking about offenses. We're not
yeah,
seriously
okay,
gonna say.
calm down.
Go
What you
ahead, go ahead. We're not gonna sit here and say that the Cowboys offensively, when they're healthy, is one of the best offenses in the NFC. That's just not
Yes,
true.
we are. You're the same person that always hates on the Cowboys for no valid reason, bro. And you're wrong. You're always wrong. I'm here to correct you, bro. It's good. Don't even trip. I'm here. I'm here.
Let
to
him know, man.
bro.
Let him know.
Look, bro. CeeDee Lamb is a great elite wide receiver one, right? Michael Gallup. Everybody knows what Mike Gallup can do when he's healthy, bro. And everyone keeps sleeping on Mike Gallup, and let them keep sleeping on Mike Gallup. The offensive line is by far one of the best when healthy. Tyler Smith, Tyron Smith, Jason Peters, Zach Martin, bro, Tyler B. I can't say his last name, right? And then you got Dalton Schultz. Like I said, Zeke is back, bro. Zeke, feed Zeke. You know what I'm saying? Feed Zeke. Zeke is back. Tony Pollard, every time he gets a chance, every time Tony Pollard gets the rock, bro, he's making big plays. Big plays. He's picking it up wherever Zeke left off. You know what I mean? If Zeke is starting off slow, we got Tony Pollard to pick it up. You know what I mean? And then Dak, bro. Cooper Rush, all that Cooper, Robert Rush gimmick. Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. It was funny for like the first 4 weeks. Bro, I am so glad Cooper Robert Rush is on the bench. You know what I mean? We have Dak to finally really game manage and also make these big plays, bro, when we really need it. But the thing is that's gonna hold us back on offense, Abdi, is not an offensive player. It's a coach. It's Kellen Moore, and it's not Mike McCarthy. I got no hate with Mike McCarthy right now. But Kellen Moore needs to be fired, bro. After
Why do
this,
you say that?
his offensive schemes and offensive play calling is terrible, bro. It's so predictable. Everyone knows this. Like, I can tell what's gonna happen. 3rd and 8, you're gonna do a little screen pass or a little a run to outside. Like 3rd and 2, you're gonna keep doing outside runs. Like, how many times did we do that on Sunday, bro? That pissed me off like on a whole nother level. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just keep doing outside runs with Zeke in the beginning, like the first half. Like, bro, come on, don't get me wrong. Zeke is Zeke. But you give Zeke 3rd and 2, couple yards, you give him inside handoffs, bro. Inside, boom, push it in. Don't give him no outside run. He's not Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard can do those. But still, 3rd and 2, you just give it to your best players like CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz, just your security blankets. You know what I mean? You have Dak back for a reason. Now you can trust Dak. You can't trust Cooper Rush to make these, plays. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust Cooper Rush. Anytime he makes these big plays, I get excited. Yeah, just like any Cowboys fans, because he can't do that. You know what I mean? You don't expect that. So you expect these big things from Dak. And honestly, the sky's the limit for this team, bro. Offensively, defensively, we all know what we got, bro. You got Micah Parsons, rushing the edge, stopping the run. You got DeMarcus Lawrence. You got great defensive tackles that are young coming up. Leighton Vander Esch, great young linebacker who's just tackling everything. Donovan Wilson, great safety, tackling everything. Trevon Diggs, bro. Stop the Trevon Diggs hate, bro.
I was waiting for this one. I was waiting for this.
How can people hate an all-pro corner, bro? You know what I'm saying? He was an all-pro corner his 2nd year, led the leagues in interceptions. You know what I mean? third year, bro, he's balling out. Like, what are you talking? He's still doing the same thing. You throw it to his side, he's locking it down, bro. He went against Jamar Chase, locked him down. He went against Mike Evans with that lucky catch, bro. He locked up Mike Evans, bro. AJ Brown, he locked up AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? He does his Dougie, bro. He locked up Scary Terry. Bro, Trevon Diggs needs his credit. I do not care what anybody says. You know what I mean? He balled out yesterday. He got a pick. I know it's the Lions. I don't really care. He did what he had to do. The Lions are a great offensive team too. Let's be honest. They were balling out the first couple of weeks when they're healthy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he can, you know, he's a different beast.
He's a good playmaker. I gotta give it to him.
he's
He was
a great
out. He was
playmaker.
out yesterday due to concussion.
Yeah.
Got knocked out real early. I got a question for you before we move on to these two guys. Trayvon Diggs or Jair Alexander? You know,
Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs.
Okay.
This season, you got to think about it, bro. Jair Alexander, I don't know if he's not motivated. I don't know what's going on in Green Bay, brother, but like he is getting.
He's getting torched, man. I am with you.
I mean,
on that,
wait.
for sure. I am with you.
He got torched. He got torched last game. He was not getting torched this season. Let's correct that real
He
quick.
got torched week one by Jettas.
No. Jeddah, he was not on Jettas. He was not on. No. Jair never guarded him once. Matter of fact, he probably guarded him 3 times and he didn't give up a catch. He drew an offensive pass interference and 2 incompletions. That was practically it.
I ain't gonna lie. He did get a catch on Jair.
Why you passing interference?
He hit him
Like,
with
you
that
can't
little
guard him?
nice
You
crossover.
can't guard him?
But it went nowhere, bro. Like it's not a big
Bro.
catch.
No, it was a
No,
catch, man.
But it's not a big catch, bro.
And
At the
Jair
end
got
of the day,
mine.
yeah, go ahead.
Nah, that's all you. That's all you.
Nah, bro, Trevon Diggs is balling out. Jair is getting cooked this year. Like, it is what it is. You just gotta face reality, bro. Like, at the end of the day,
It's just like that's just like Trayvon Diggs last year, right? He was getting cooked. The guy was just making plays on the ball. That's it. I can make that same argument. The guy's just getting picks. This year, let me stop. This year, I said this
at the
year,
end
right?
of the day, he made up for it. That's
what I said. That's what I said. Remember when he faced against Jamar Chase, right? When he went up against Jamar Chase, I gave him credit for what he did against Jamar Chase. And a lot of people wouldn't have given him credit because Jamar Chase made 1 catch in late fourth quarter, I believe, right? A lot of people wouldn't have given him credit for it. But
a lot of people that don't hate the Cowboys for no valid reason would give credit.
Yeah, but of course, this year Trayvon Diggs has been a lot better in coverage. That I agree, 100%. He's been a lot better. Last year, people had criticism whether he should have been All-Pro because it was more so him making plays on the ball than it was him locking up dudes. But this year, he's actually locking up guys and he's making plays on the ball. So I can't hate on him.
Yeah. Exactly. You got to think about it like that. That's what I was saying last year too. Y'all know it too, bro. When we was talking to the chats and everything, bro. Y'all know it. I said, bro, Trevon Diggs is only getting better. I said, what? Y'all said, okay, he's obviously getting burnt, whatever. I said, yeah, he's gonna work on his man coverage, bro. And y'all seen the videos in training camp sending it to me. Oh, Trevon Diggs getting cooked by bums. I'm like, yo, don't even trip, bro. I said, when the season starts, brother. I said, don't even worry. So when the season starts, Trevon Diggs is gonna ball out. This defense is gonna ball out, bro. I said it's not impossible, but it's just idiotic for me to just hear and think someone to say our defense is gonna regress when we literally didn't lose anybody. We lost Randy Gregory, but bro, Dorrance Armstrong still puts up the same amount of numbers as Randy Gregory, and we got Dante Fowler, who's also a great rotational piece. We drafted Sam Williams. Mini Micah, you know what I mean, bro? Like, I don't understand. Like, and at the end of the day, we re-signed Jaron Kearse. People are gonna know about Jaron Kearse. He is a great safety. Jaron Kearse is a dog. You know what I mean? You got Donovan Wilson who's tackling everything. You got Malik Hooker. And then unfortunately we took a huge blow, man, with Jordan Lewis getting injured. So hopefully we have Darren Bland, our rookie, that can step up. We got Kelvin Joseph. So I don't know what the secondary is going to look like. I don't know how obviously Jordan Lewis makes big plays for us. So hopefully, Darren Bland and Kelvin Joseph, like I said, can step up and make those big plays. If not, we can do a trade. But I know if we're going to do a trade, I hope and pray we make a trade for DJ Moore. If we
another
get
playmaker,
Moore,
that's interesting. I hear you on that one. Makes sense. A little bit.
Yeah, because you got to think about it, bro. CeeDee Lamb, yeah, he's an elite wide receiver. He's an explosive wide receiver. But then you got Michael Gallup, who's just that
hot and
wide
cold
receiver, bro. Yeah, he just goes straight. You know what I mean? Makes big catches. That's it. DJ Moore, we need another explosive piece, bro. We got CeeDee Lamb, you got Tony Pollard, but obviously we know Zeke really lost that explosiveness. Michael Gallup is not really as explosive because of the ACL injury coming back from that. You don't got no explosive tight end. So just having that another explosive piece would just really just put our team and offense on new, level. So the sky's the limit for this team, man. I know that, we got Dak back, it's 1-0 right now. Since we got Dak back, the NFC East, I know a lot of people clown the NFC East before the season started, but the NFC East
It's the best division in football right now.
yeah,
Yes, man. Three
legit.
teams are
So
gonna come out of
we
that.
can't.
That's the best
I
division
think,
right now.
I think
I mean, the Giants are 6-1. What are you guys, 5-2? The Eagles are
The
what,
Eagles are-
5-1
6-0.
no, they're
or
undefeated.
6-0?
Fluky, yes, undefeated team. But I
We'll
think,
get to the
Wait,
Eagles
we'll
in a little bit
we'll
for sure.
let me give my thoughts on this Cowboys game.
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a good win. Let's keep it pushing. Mahad already summarized everything. He said it's a good win for the Cowboys.
That's what he's here for, man.
Come on, anytime you're talking about the
That's
Cowboys,
it,
man, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good win. Good job.
Nothing else to add on?
That's all I got.
All right, yeah, Mudd said everything about the Cowboys, man. I swear to God, he lifted everything. Like, but I'm gonna talk about Zeke though, man. Zeke, if he gets the ball, like he's been playing very good this year. Although his touches is like from 15 to 17 to 18 to 19, but he gets the job done. He's tied, I think, fourth for touchdowns right now. He has like 430 rush yards. I don't think he's playing too bad. I feel like this team can ride that defense and just trust Dak, and hopefully Zeke can carry them, So I like what I'm seeing from the Cowboys, 5-1. And Detroit, I want to speak about Dan Campbell, man. I feel like this guy is just
I think he's as good as God.
Like
man.
I think
can't lie.
no. Big Ish, like I can't like no. Big Ish, you gassed this guy. You said the hard knocks stuff. He's an emotional coach. He rides for his players, but how about some wins?
bro. They know
Where's
wins
the
coming
wins
in. I'm
at,
sorry.
man?
Yeah, I
wins?
get it. Like,
Sorry.
yeah, you can make people feel good. How about some wins?
Man, I don't know what's up with that team right now. They started off so hot. The offense is beautiful, and then the last couple of weeks is just
Kind of like that defense is dreadful.
their defense is dreadful.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst
Oh,
in the league,
Brandis.
man.
No,
Everybody's gonna get their licks in on the Lions for sure.
Yeah, bro. And the case with DeAndre Swift, man, it's
Yeah,
tough.
lucky it's looking a bit like
Tough.
I thought he was back, and then
Yeah, but I heard his injury's nagging. Who knows if he's gonna come back anytime soon? But I feel like he dealt with this last year too, with the shoulder injury, missing a lot of weeks. Now this continue on into this year. Yeah, there's a lot of questions right now about Dan Campbell. I like the Lions as a team, as a unit, but they just can't get W's, man. And the defense is just one of the worst defenses in the league. So Cowboys, man, tough division they're in, but they're playing fantastic. So 5-1 for the Cowboys. Shout out to my guy, Mudd, you know what I'm saying? Pacific the Wave. His team's up there. There ain't no regression for them. So
None.
Yeah.
You hear that, Abdi? You know what I'm saying? Can you let me define regression for you, Abdi, if I didn't do that already for you. You know what I mean?
go ahead and define it for the
Yeah,
audience, man.
define it for the
Regression,
crowd, man.
audience, you know what I mean? Regression, a return to a former or less developed state. And a prime example in this case, since we're talking about sports, would be a team like the Green Bay Packers. You know what I mean? not the Dallas Cowboys.
We did regress. We did regress.
They
I
regress
can't
all in all aspects: offense, special teams, defense, coaching.
Nah, I'm with you. I can't wait to get to that game, bro. But I'm not going to say too much about the Cowboys. I think you guys have all said everything that I was going to say. Of course, the only thing I'm going to say is about my guy Zeke. I did say he was underrated coming into this year. And I'm liking, I know we mentioned it, previous weeks, this little committee that they got going on between him and Pollard. We all thought it was crazy, but it's working out for them. You bring in Zeke for the first couple of downs and we need a big explosive play, you bring in Pollard. So I'm loving the balance between those two. When you need like a 3rd and 2, you got Zeke. When you need like a 3rd and 8, you need Pollard to get you some yards. You got Pollard. So Cowboys sitting at 5-2, in the best division in football right now, where you got 3 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. I can go ahead and guarantee that right now. You got to get wins where you can, because it's a pretty tight race between those 3 teams. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Indianapolis Colts lose to the Tennessee Titans on the road 19-10. We just got word today that Matt Ryan will no longer be the starting quarterback in Indianapolis. His time is done. They're bringing in their backup quarterback, Sam Ehlinger, I believe, or something like that, from Texas. I don't know, man. We all thought Matt Ryan was going to be the piece to put this team together, man.
I told y'all don't pick the Colts. I literally warned you guys don't pick the Colts against the Titans this week. Matt Ryan's last week was a fluke. And of course, the Titans did exactly what they were supposed to do: play defense and give Derrick Henry the ball. That's simply the formula. Feed Derrick Henry. I think he had 30 rushes for like 128, 138 yards. That's literally the game plan for the Titans. And I think Ryan Tannehill picked up an injury, but again, he's not really in their plans like that. Their idea is just to feed their running back, and that's it. And that's exactly what they did. And it's tough, man. Like, we thought Matt Ryan was going to be good this year, and he's been anything but good. So it's a nice win for the Titans, but that division's horrid as we know it. There's a lot of terrible divisions all around in the NFL right now, but it's a good one for the Titans. They needed that.
Great win for the Titans coming off a bye. Like we said last week for our predictions, like defense, Derrick Henry. Like, we don't even need to bring up Tannehill. Like it was just gonna be the defense of Derrick Henry, and that's what happened. And Matt Ryan and the Colts, man, it's just we really did think they were gonna do something. We thought he was gonna be better than Carson Wentz, but
That's two ugly twins right there, man.
It's two ugly twins, man. But I'm gonna say this, Matt Ryan tied Carson Wentz interceptions on the Colts for the full season in 7 games. So it's kind of crazy. Hey, I mean, I feel like it's a good move by the Colts coach. Like, it's a horrible division for them. They know they're not gonna do much in the playoffs. So why play Matt Ryan and risk his career for nothing? So Sam Ehlinger is gonna step in. We don't know what's gonna happen with Pittman on the fantasy value side or Jonathan Taylor on that side of the ball. But yeah, Colts, they got a lot to talk about.
Don't get me started on Jonathan Taylor, man. I don't know who to blame at this point. My number one overall pick is only getting 10 rushing attempts. I'm over here watching the game, and I'm seeing Derrick Henry get 30 touches. Oh man, that had my head hop. But
it's crazy. Like Taylor was out last week, and we seen this guy named Deion Jackson get 28 touches in a game. Taylor comes back the next week.
It's 10 touches, man. 10 touches.
It makes no sense to me. I don't know
what the game script was the game script was still in Jonathan Taylor's favor.
It was still in the favor. It was still in the favor. But last week, Deion Jackson, 30, I think it was like 27 touches. He ended up with a lot of yards and everything. This week, hey man, we got one of the best running backs in the league. We're not gonna give him the ball. So yeah, Mo, what's your thoughts, man?
I know I laugh when Abby said ugly twins. I was thinking the House of Dragon, Aemon and Aegon, whatever. But no, I'm not gonna lie, man. I can't speak much on this game because I didn't really watch it. I'm not gonna sit here in front. But I mean, the Colts, you're hearing the news that they're benching Matt Ryan is great. I mean, I think Colts fans should be happy and ecstatic that Matt Ryan's old ass is getting benched. Like, what does he do? He's not mobile. Like literally, if he does not have time in the pocket, and we all know the Colts O-line is not good at all. So you know what I mean? If he does not have time in the pocket, he can't run. His old ass, he's not running. He's not doing nothing. He's not mobile. He's throwing it pick or he's throwing it out, to the ground.
He really can't extend the play much. So.
Yeah, he can't extend the play. So I think it's great that they're bringing in this, Sam, the young rookie, whatever, to come in and get some, experience in and get some plays in and see how he does. And if not, man, I think, they could trade for, I think they could do something for Mac Jones. I think they should go out there and, trade at least a third or some,
No, if you're trading
Jones is a starting quarterback.
If you're trading for Mac Jones, bro, like you're just asking to lose. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, no, you gotta think about it though. Like, well, what happened with tonight after Monday Night Football? Like, how they just bench, Mac.
We gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. But hey, I mean, I think the Colts can, if it doesn't work out for Sam, I think the Colts have options in trading for a couple quarterbacks out there in the NFL, or they could obviously sign a quarterback in free agency. I don't know who's out there other than like Cam, but
hell no,
it's not a lot of options.
Not a lot of options
right now.
Not a lot,
I can't. You might just ride this guy, this Sam guy. To be honest,
you just gotta wait till the end of the season to see what happens.
Because like you already traded for Matt Ryan, so it's just like you can't really do another trade. It's just like you're stuck with your situation. To be honest,
that is true, but it just depends on how serious they want to just really go. But I really think the Colts should just say, yeah, F it, we're gonna not tank, but just like to start a rebuild process, but not trade away Jonathan Taylor. But
I'm not too entirely sure if they should go in that direction. To be honest, though, I understand. I hear your point, but right now the Titans are riding a 4-game win streak, I believe. They've won. 4-game win streak. I was right. 4-game win streak right now, sitting at 4-2, and the Colts are right behind them at 3-1. And now they made a move like this. So, of course, we don't know what to expect from this guy, but maybe it could be something good. So maybe they can win that division, but because the Titans are not a hell of a football team, and the team like the Jags that we were hyping up this offseason, these first couple of weeks, they've fallen off the grid. So the Colts, man, they still got a chance, and they can still fight for that division if they really want to, and if they really want to, to make a playoffs. But it all starts with giving my guy Jonathan Taylor the ball, because if you don't give him the ball, nothing's gonna work for you. That's what happened. Yeah. He only put up 10 points, and my guy only had 10 touches. So He needs more touches, and he'll put up points on the board. But the Colts, I think it was definitely a smart move to bench Matt Ryan because these last couple of weeks, this entire season, basically, he's underperformed. After what they saw from Carson Wentz last year, we were all expecting him to come in and make this team and elevate this team, but it just hasn't happened yet. So overall, good win for the Titans. They're on a 4-game win streak after starting off the season 0-2. And the game plan, like Abdi said, it's very, very simple. You just play defense, and when you step on the field, Ryan Tannehill don't do anything but hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, and he's going to lead the way and get you wins. So a good win for the Titans. We'll go ahead and move on to an interesting game that I really want to talk about. The Green Bay Packers on the road lose to the Washington Commanders 23-21. Tyler Heineke's first start of the year. And I wouldn't even call it an upset because I believe this team is better than the Packers at this current moment. But he beats Aaron Rodgers at home. And I know we got some thoughts on this one.
It's tough.
Bro.
This one was a tough one. I just don't know how to look at this team right now. Like, first off, I'll start off with this. Amari Rodgers needs to be cut. Like our punt returner, Amari Rodgers needs to be cut. Fun fact: this guy has seven catches, right, in his career for the Packers. 7 catches, 6 fumbles. So he's caught the ball 7 times, and he's had 6 fumbles, right? That's how bad this guy is. So first off, he needs to be cut. But he's not just the issue, really. This offense is garbage. This offense right now, it's terrible, like downright bad. And we were plagued by drops yesterday. I understand that there's a multitude of drops that happened. I think Dubs dropped some balls, and then Lazard dropped one as well. And it's just like Aaron Jones is legit the only player on this offense. There's literally nobody outside of Aaron Jones. AJ Dillon, this guy can't run more than 3 yards. He's just literally a guy that we're gonna give at the goal line, and that's it. So Aaron Jones is a real playmaker on this team, and sprinkle in Allen Lazard here and there. And I spoke about this multiple times. Like, this team right now is just dysfunctional on every single level. Like, from the offense, I spoke about this. On the defense, the coaching, the special teams, like legit right now, the Packers you can't say there's anything good about this team, right? And you guys remember I praised Jair during the Jets game, and this week he got cooked in the second half. First half, he was doing a really good job on Terry McLaurin, and we were up, I think, 14-3 or something like that. In the second half, he got cooked by Terry McLaurin, especially on that play to get him that first down. That was just huge. That was just a big play. He made big plays down the stretch. And this team right now on every single level, they're just garbage. Right now, I don't see any hopes. And we play the Eagles, we play the Cowboys, and we play the Bills within these next 3 weeks. That's the 0-3 right there. That's legit 0-3 right there. We play the Eagles, Cowboys, and Bills. So there's no way we're gonna win these games right now. If we can't beat Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, and Taylor Heineke, how in the world are we going to beat Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and Josh Allen? There's just no way. So it's easy for me to sit here and say the problem is that just the quarterback position. But Aaron Rodgers had a pretty decent game yesterday. I think he wasn't that bad, in my opinion. This offense was just garbage. The wide receivers weren't able to get separation. Matt LaFleur, I don't know. This scheme right now is just not working for us. And I don't think Matt LaFleur is the biggest issue here. I just think this team is just not that talented offensively. Offensively, there's not talent. Defensively, I already said Joe Barry needs to get fired. Shouldn't get a job in the NFL again. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I love how you're protecting your quarterback. I love it. He said
No. But I did mention this, though. Like I said, the quarterback play wasn't good 2 weeks ago, right? Or a week ago, at least, when they played the Jets, right? This week, Aaron Rodgers wasn't bad. I'm going to be straight up. Aaron Rodgers is not bad this game. This offense.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard he had 40 passing yards at halftime.
That is true. I mean, the second half is where we really struggled. The first half, we were not bad. The second half is where we really, really struggled because there was a time where we had 5 straight punts. 5 straight punts. This team's not good.
I mean, like, other than the late touchdown in the fourth quarter and the first touchdown of the drive of the game.
That was a lucky touchdown, too.
Amari Rodgers had a big drop.
He did have a big drop towards that second half. But the first half, to me, after that first touchdown you guys scored, it was just lethargic on the offensive end. Other than the defensive touchdown you guys scored in the second quarter, I think it was a pick 6.
Devondre Campbell, yeah.
Devondre Campbell. Everything else was just punts. I don't know, man. 194 yards and 2 touchdowns for Rodgers I don't think that's a good game. I don't think
he's just protecting his quarterback. It's good. I respect.
It's not a bad game though. Like
This is
no
Aaron,
one's
this,
getting-
is, this is Aaron Rodgers we're talking
This
about.
is
That's a
Aaron
yeah, of
terrible
course
game.
it is Aaron Rodgers, but it's not a bad game. Like if we're being objective, it's not a bad game.
If Justin
Right.
Fields
So,
had this,
you know
if
what's
Justin
funny?
Fields had this type of game, we're saying it's a great game for him.
This is a okay.
This
That's
is
a
Aaron
career.
Rodgers we're
That's,
talking about.
that's a career
If
high for
Dak-
Justin Fields.
You know what's funny? If Dak had this type of game, they're gonna say Dak is the most overrated quarterback, and he doesn't deserve a penny from that 70
Okay,
whatever.
way to fit in the
contract.
Cowboys. Way to fit in the
I always
Cowboys.
gotta toss it in. Always
Always
gotta
got to talk about the Cowboys.
I mean,
love this,
shit.
man.
You want to talk about regression? You know, like I'm just saying, bro. Aaron Rodgers regressed, bro. He's ass. Like,
No,
I'm
we just
sorry,
have
like,
no
he's not
talent on
good.
this
He's not
offense.
him.
Like
Like,
we
what are you
just
talking
there's
about, bro?
There's another
You know what's
thing, like,
funny? Aaron Rodgers is probably the third best quarterback in that division this season, bro. He's not better than Kirk this season, and he's not
Oh,
better than
100%.
Goff this season.
Aaron Rodgers' numbers aren't bad though.
I'm taking him over Goff.
Jeez.
I ain't gonna like Goff fell off.
Goff,
Yeah.
no, bro.
He
He
fell
has
off.
no wide receivers. He doesn't have
He does.
what's
I mean, he has better than. They have better
He doesn't
playmakers
have
than us.
DJ Chark. He doesn't have DJ Chark, and he didn't have Amon-Ra St. Brown. All he has is a tight end, bro.
And we
That's
have
so dumb.
rookies. We have rookies and Alan Lazard, so it's not saying much.
Bro. Y'all, it's
We don't have
it's the
talent on
Packers'
offense. I'm
fault.
telling you, we don't have
It's the
talent on
Packers'
offense.
office fault though. Like,
Yeah,
y'all
I mean, that is their
easily
fault.
Traded for a wide receiver. Y'all still can go get DJ Moore, and y'all still won't do it.
The Packers would rather die than trade for someone midseason. They'd rather die,
And they
Bro,
don't draft receivers either.
and
so-
they don't draft wide
so
receivers.
crazy, man. And they don't sign.
We paid a
nobody either,
We paid a
bro.
quarterback $50 million not to give him weapons.
Hey,
It is what it is.
we
I'm
like-
not, Rodgers should retire, bro. Rodgers is a dumbass. Like, I'm not sorry for my life, but Rodgers is an idiot, bro. Like, he easily should have retired.
Nah, he
Bro,
should
why
have
would you
went,
do that?
he should have went to the Broncos when he had the chance.
Bro,
he should've went to the
either
Raiders,
the
bro.
Steelers, or he should have went to the Broncos, bro. Or just
Hold on,
stayed
man.
home.
Let me finish
done a
up that.
podcast. Like
I got
us.
LaFleur. I
Like-
got LaFleur on the hot seat. I ain't gonna lie to you, Abdi. They're not utilizing your run game at all, man. Giving these running backs 12
I ain't gonna
carries.
lie, the offensive line was kind of tragic, man.
The offense-
Bakhtiari, I believe he wasn't playing this game.
We
my
know
memory
that guy.
But
Every other
Bakhtiari,
week,
but he just takes vacations. Like
takes
I don't know.
vacations,
I
and
don't,
then we
I don't
see-
know. What to say.
we see him courtside Buck games, chugging beers and stuff, looking healthy. But when the season comes around, it's like, hey, I need 8 weeks
This
off.
guy's
of this
legit an all-pro tackle that doesn't play games.
At this point, he's up there with Michael Thomas being an NFT, man. They're just myths at this
Yeah,
point. man.
They're not real.
The Packers got a whole lot of problems on their side. I promise you. It goes from offense, O-line, receiver play, quarterback play, defense. It's all on every single level, and it's just looking like right now. To me, the Packers have always been one of the most consistent teams that we've seen the last probably 10 to 12 years. You know, always with a winning record, always making the playoffs, and this and that. But I feel like this is the year. It's like the drop off is finally going to happen. Like for me, in the beginning of the season, I really said give Aaron Rodgers a chance with these receivers. I brought up in past history talking about how Rodgers, you know, he gets connections fast with new receivers stepping up to roles like Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, Greg Jennings. But that's not the case this year. I feel like a lot of the plays coming off for him, I feel like he's very nonchalant. And I don't think he's really a team guy, you know? If stuff's not really going that team, like his way or the team's way, he just kind of ices himself out and just like, and you know, I'm Aaron Rodgers. I did what I had to do. It's whatever. I don't care. So that's how I feel about the Packers right now. LaFleur, I don't really think he's a great coach. I think he's an okay coach. He's a decent coach for the team. And the defense, man, Jets, Redskins, Commanders, Giants, Patriots, they've been getting cooked. We can cooked by some mediocre teams that I really believe Packers defense should be getting cooked by. So a lot for the Packers to go through, but
Well, maybe they're just not a good defense. Yeah, you ever thought about it like that?
Maybe they're just not a good.
No.
Or
We don't
maybe
have a
they
good.
really
We don't.
believe that the
It's very.
Packers regress,
It's very
right?
simple.
Yeah, right?
We
Come
don't.
on.
We don't
They're
have
not a good
good.
football team.
No,
Regression-
no, very
regression
very
is-
very
is-
simple.
is
Hey,
them.
they got
Very
two.
simple.
Hey,
Very simple.
Regression
We
is
don't
real,
have a
and it
good.
really
We
defines
don't have a
Packers.
good defensive coordinator. We do not have a good defensive coordinator. That's the problem here. We legit have talent on defense. We don't have a good defensive
I
coordinator.
agree.
So regardless, it's not on the defenders. Like if you're playing guys like we couldn't guard a basic crossing route like this.
Nah,
This
I feel
defense-
like they
This
kicked
defensive
us-
coordinator's a dumbass. Like, I'll excuse my language, but I'll be honest. Like, this defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, doesn't know what he's doing. Like, every Packers fan is frustrated with this guy because he's just clueless. Week 1, you guys saw it. Why was Justin Jefferson open so much? Like, these guys cannot guard crossing routes because they're not put in the right scheme. So it's just like, what can guys do? Like, this team's just annoying me, man. This team just pisses me off.
It's got your head hot, man.
Hey,
I see it. I hear it.
166 rush yards gave up again. I mean, like the run game is just. I feel like teams they come in with a game plan like, yo, we're going to kill the Packers on the run. We're going to mentally, physically abuse them, and it's going to open up the passing for them. And I feel like that's been happening every single week. So
That's the key, man. That's how
that's
you
the
beat
key.
Green
It's like
Bay.
they're
Round and pound, baby.
they're beating you in the trenches, like straight up. Like they're coming in. We're like, yo, we're gonna swing haymakers. We're gonna knock them out first round, and then just abuse the rest of the team. That's how I feel. I don't know. So great win for the Commanders, man, in a tough division. They're in the 3-4. Heineke looked fantastic. Heineke looked fantastic. He stepped into that role and just looked much better than Carson Wentz for this team. So good one for the Commanders.
But we let a guy that got shot in his ass get like 80 yards on us. Like,
Ryan
like-
Robinson, man, hell of a story. Hell of a
Like,
story.
come on. Like, come on, bro. Like, what
Hey,
team is
he-
giving up that?
Hey,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie, bro. Like before that's how I even knew about who Brian Robinson was. I didn't even know what he accomplished in college or nothing. I didn't know he got drafted. I was like, damn, because I was like, bro, all I remember, I don't really pay attention to the Commanders, right? I hate the Commanders. I hate the Eagles. I hate the Giants. But bro, the Commanders, I was confused. I was like, bro, where this who this guy? It's like he just teleported out of nowhere,
He just
bro.
spawned.
He
Took
just
over, gets the job.
He
He
just
took over.
spawned. This guy's
Like,
NP.
he just-
He's an
he just spawned
NPC.
out of
I'm telling you,
nowhere.
there's a lot of NPCs.
Like, who is this guy, bro? He just teleported out of nowhere and just took all their jobs. And I'm just like, okay, like, and he gets a 30 for 30 story on ESPN out of nowhere, like, dude, like, I'm trying to
He
be like,
has
him,
one
bro.
hell of
I
a
ain't gonna
story,
lie.
man. Yeah, Ron Rivera, he's been very high on him coming into this season. He really didn't want to give Antonio Gibson that starting job. So he was probably thinking the guy that got shot, no disrespect, he really wanted him to start, but Gibson, he was just preying on his downfall. But now that Robinson's back, he's looking like the RB1 in Washington. But good win for the Commanders, but I definitely got to get to this Packers team. Each and every week, of course I come on here and I pick the Packers to win, and then they lose, and then I come on here and say the same exact thing I said.
Can I stop you there? Why do you pick us?
I honestly have no clue. I'm not picking you guys these next 3 weeks. You said Philly, Buffalo,
Hell no, I ain't picking the Packers.
and
Dallas,
whoever that
Dallas.
who was the
And the
third team you guys are
Cowboys.
playing? And the Cowboys.
Dallas,
I'm not
Dallas,
picking you
Dallas.
guys. I'm probably not going to pick you guys for the rest of the season, honestly. But I'm done picking this team. I really thought this was going to be a get right week for the Green Bay Packers. I thought they're going to put it all together and figure this thing out. It's week 7. It's closer to the midway point of the season, but it just wasn't the case. And I can come on here and say the same exact thing I said last week. Their defense, they're just not a good defense. I never bought into that hype. Abdi was trying to feed me this information, and I just said, no, I'm not taking it. And then we have Big H over here. I respect you, Big H. The accountability you just took right now when you said that, you had the Green Bay Packers figuring this thing out with Aaron Rodgers in this receiving core. I respect that. You're owning up to your mistake. I told you guys from the jump, this receiving core, it was just not going to work out. It's one of the worst receiving cores in this league. And if you expect a guy like Aaron Rodgers to go out there and make plays with those guys, you're just fooling yourself, and you're forcing yourself to believe something that's just not real. And Matt LaFleur, I called him Matt LaFraud last week. I'm going to call him Matt LaFraud again. He's just not a real coach. When you have to really coach a football team that doesn't have an elite receiver like Devontae Adams on that side of the ball, it's just going to be hard because you don't know what to do. You don't know what place to go. And like Aaron Rodgers, he already has trust issues as it is. Coming into this season, he didn't have confidence in this receiving core. He was familiar with guys like Cobb and Alan Lazard. At the same time, he was still throwing his rookie receivers under the bus, talking about, they're not running the right routes and they're dropping passes and they're not prepared. Well, you're a quarterback. You're supposed to be the leader of this team. You're supposed to get your guys riled up and prepared and ready for a game like this, ready for the entire season. But the Packers sitting here at 3-4, knowing that they have 3 tough matchups coming up. You want to just crown us the NFC championship, the NFC North champs right now? You want to just give me the title?
I'll gladly do it myself.
I mean, we had a bye week, and we're right now with the Vikings are 5-1, I believe. We're 5-1. We had a bye week this week. I think this felt like a W in our book. So I want to say we're 6-1 right now. You might as well just give me the title right now. You might just crown us the champs of our division.
No, I'm not ruling out Aaron Rodgers yet.
Vikings are ruling the North. That's wild.
I mean, I said in the beginning of the year, I didn't really have any high hopes for this Packers team when they're sitting at 3-4. Next 3 games are tough, like I said.
I think it might be time just this time. Like,
No, I'm not ruling out Aaron Rodgers yet. But it is 100% panic. Like the button's been broken already.
Yeah,
Like the panic button's broken.
We're in the panic button.
Tell me how much time you hit it though, because I know it started off in the page.
No, it's
Button-
broken
the
already.
button ain't there anymore.
The button's broken. Like it's gone. Like it's broken. It's smashed.
Yeah, Yeah, man.
I think
These next 3 weeks, bro, I'm just gonna keep coming on here and bashing this team. But go ahead, Mud. You know, I got nothing to say about this sorry team.
I think what I looked at it is I looked more towards obviously as Abdi knows and as you all know, I hate the Packers, hate everything about Aaron Rodgers, right? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're
Oh,
yours,
nah,
man.
I thought the connection thing was all right. But anyways, yeah, like obviously hate everything about Aaron Rodgers, hate everything about the Packers. You know, they've been whooping our butts, you know, for years and crushing our hearts and just
Ever since
Dez
that
caught
desk
it,
catch, man. You know.
so you know what I mean. So it's just envy as well. But but for real, like no, all jokes aside and stuff like that. We all know that these wide receivers are not it, bro. They can't do anything. You know, like as you were saying, they have no separation. They're not it. You know what I mean? They're like great slot. They're great wide receiver twos, but they have no wide receiver one, and they obviously have no tight end. So unless the Packers really just get out of their comfort zone and just go out there and make a midseason trade, like Abdi said, they'll never do. Unless they do that and go get a guy like DJ Moore, or even put in all your chips in for.
We could, it's crazy. You know, we could have gotten like at least like even
bro.
worse part, like we could have gotten someone like Robbie Anderson for nothing, like
Exactly.
for legit nothing,
Literally
like a
nothing,
sixth
yeah.
round. I think it was like a sixth round pick and like some cash. That's it.
Or if no, I was gonna say I'm tripping. I forgot y'all had Aaron Jones. I'm tripping. I was gonna say
Like Robbie Anderson, at least like he's gonna run deep. Like that's gonna be at least our MVS replacement. Because like not only did we lose Devontae, right, which is like a big thing, right? But we lost a field stretcher. Like it's important for an offense to have someone, for a guy that goes deep, right? That stretches the field.
Exactly.
We don't have a vertical threat whatsoever. Christian Watson eventually is going to be that vertical threat, right? But he's still a rookie. And Romeo Doubs is going to be that slot wide receiver, but he's still a rookie. Lazard, he's a bit of a hybrid of both, but he's like a blocking wide receiver and he's a decent wide receiver too. So it's just like we don't have a field stretcher. We don't have a dominant wide receiver one. And we don't have like a dominant tight end. Like Robert Tonyan, like he's a solid tight end, but he's nothing like to write home about, you know? So it's just like the weapons on this team right now are just, it ain't it, man. This team is dysfunctional. It's dysfunctional right now.
Who's your owner, man?
Yeah.
He
Bro,
got team, man.
I don't want to talk about that, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Whoever the owner is, he needs to do something because it's getting out of hand right now, bro.
Hey,
like,
man, listen.
They're embarrassing Rodgers, bro. It's like
he's dying with his ego, bro. That owner is dying with his ego. There ain't no way he's switching up. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
bro.
He's
it's kind of ridiculous, though. It's like you bring back, you do this whole, bro, the whole offseason, you do this whole drama thing with Aaron Rodgers and all this BS just to bring him back, and you bring him back with no weapons, and you expect him to do all these things, and it's like you're embarrassing his legacy and what he wants to do. And at the end of the day, this dude can just flat out. I mean, he might as well just retire, bro. Next week, he might as well be like, you know what? Let me get sacked one more time. Let me get one hard hit, and I'm done. You know,
full time on Pat McAfee show.
Hey, that contract that he has.
Yeah, exactly. Be a full-time host.
Hey, that contract that he has, bro. He waiting to cash everything out. Then he's.
Oh yeah, I mean that's 50.
The thing is, though, like
a year. Like, he's not. You know, Aaron Rodgers. He's stingy, bro. He's
the thing is, though, it's just like why pay him that money? Like you pay someone that money, right? Like what is the Packer right now? Like I'm looking at my team, right? I'm thinking about what is our timeline right now? Like we're sitting at 3, like what is our goal? Like what are we looking at right now? What is the Packers' hopes? Because it's just like clearly it's not going to be at this rate. It might not even be making the playoffs at this rate. Because there's a bunch of teams from NFC East that are cooking, right? And we on our team it's just garbage. We have the Vikings and we have a bunch of other NFC teams that are probably going to make it. But it's just
don't forget the Seahawks.
Yeah.
You have to add in the Seahawks. Huh?
No.
Let's
be serious.
We're number 1 in our division.
Yeah, no. We were being serious right now, though.
No, we're being serious. You said Packers not making the playoffs, so we're being serious.
Okay, I'm serious about that. Like the Packers at this rate might not make the playoffs, so it's just like, what is the goal right now? Like, should Aaron Rodgers retire and then Jordan Love comes in? Like, I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You guys are just now. I don't know.
But we gotta keep pushing, bro. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this team. Every time I hear this team, I get pissed off.
Yeah, just to skip from the Packers, but just go on to the Commanders. I mean, this was a great win for them. You know, this is a much needed win for them. You know, not having Carson Wentz, and then obviously going with the quarterback that they're more familiar with. I think they should have just been rolling with Taylor Heineke, from the jump. But I mean, it was a great win for them. Scary Terry balled out. You know what I mean? Looking like his old self. That obviously that connection with Scary Terry and Tyler, you know what I mean? Heineke is legit and it's real. So they just need to just keep forcing that if they want to have a chance at, even winning games. So and just having the offense rolling. So I mean it's a great win for the Commanders. Commanders defense still, I mean, their secondary, smells, but when they get, Chase Young back and that front seven is going to be one of the best in
And
the
I
NFL.
forgot Chase Young's still out.
Yeah, I just got. I read this today that they're going to activate him from the IR, the 21-day window thing. But it's unlikely he'll play this week, so maybe they're probably targeting next week. But I hear you, man.
I mean,
getting a guy like Scary Terry the ball, that's one key thing that Carson Wentz couldn't do. And I feel like Tyler Heineke, he just came in and really just got.
We've seen Heineke play with Scary Terry before. Like they had a good connection. So coming back to this is like nothing new for them.
I can't like the whole thing about it is like I completely forgot about Terry McLaurin. Like that's how much Carson Wentz has just like overlooked him. Scary Terry has left my mind. Like I forgot that he was even a wide receiver, because just like Carson Wentz would overlook him. So it's a good thing that he's back in the fold.
It's crazy what Carson Wentz can do to you. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. An upset here. The Carolina Panthers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 21-3. The Buccaneers don't even put up a touchdown.
Let me ask this question now.
I want to say no.
Before you start, let me ask one question. Let me ask one question.
Let me say something first. All right, go ahead. Ask your
question.
Go
ahead.
No. Because I feel like the question is going to be based towards my answer. So go ahead.
Who is hitting the panic button more, the Green Bay Packers or the Buccaneers? Let's start with that. Who is
if I'm being
panicking
completely
more?
honest and I'm putting my bias aside, I'm going Green Bay still.
Why is that?
Because at the end of the day, the Buccaneers, they still have time to figure this thing out. And like at the end of the day, their offense we see a little bit of flashes here and there, but like for the Packers, it's really just been flat and it's been pretty consistent in being trash. And their defense the Buccaneers defense has just been pretty much terrible. And I feel like Tom Brady, if there's one guy that can figure this thing out, it's him compared to Aaron Rodgers.
But like I feel like that's a cop out in my opinion. I don't know, Big H, what you think?
You got to hit the panic button for Tampa.
Yeah,
Who's panicking more though? Who's panicking more? Who's panicking more?
If I'm gonna compare the teams right now, obviously yes, Tampa has better offensive pieces.
But like that should be a cause for more panic, if anything. Like you have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin, you have Leonard Fournette, right? You have these weapons. Like at least the Green Bay Packers, they're gonna say like, "Yo, we don't have talent like that, so of course offense is gonna stink." But if you have these weapons and you're struggling, like that's just like okay, like that's a big issue.
I gotta hit the panic button for Tampa. After trading CMC, the Panthers just traded CMC. You're probably one of the best players in the league at the time. The best player on his own team. They just traded him away, and they're coming into PJ Walker, Chubba Hubba Bubba. I don't even know his last name.
Chubba Hubbard,
Dante Foreman. They're coming in with some guys that are not even supposed to be on teams. And like we talk about, hey, Tom can fix this, Tom can do this, Tom can do it. But when is it the time to say it might not be the year that he can do it?
Like what indication have the Buccaneers given us?
Like we talked about this, off-season, preseason. We're doing our preseason predictions and everything. And they lost a couple very big key linemen. But I feel like I stepped over that saying, hey, it's Tom Brady. He has these offensive pieces. He can do it. I don't know, man. Yesterday, 2 days ago, watching the game, it was a 3 yards.
3 to 21.
No, 3 yards for Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, it's been an up and down season for
him. The offensive line has been tragic.
I just don't blame him. Yeah, I really don't blame Fournette.
The offensive line has just been terrible, but Tom Brady himself has not been good. Mike Evans had a big drop, but it's just like even then, it's like this offense, like you have those pieces, like you cannot continue like the same way. Like you're punishing me, right, for saying, well, it's Aaron Rodgers, right? And you called up Big H saying, well, Aaron Rodgers has done this in the past, right? He's had terrible wide receivers and he's made it work, right? What about the excuse for the guy that has good wide receivers and still isn't making it work? Like, what can we say?
That's what I'm talking about.
You can't be on both sides.
Because you gotta look at it like from this perspective though. Like you compare the divisions right now. In the Buccaneers division, it's a pretty close race between teams that are just very garbage, and then you throw in the Buccaneers that are down there with them, and the Saints that are already there. So the race is still close. So can the Buccaneers figure this thing out with all of their guys that they're all familiar with? I'm confident that they can figure it out. But it's just it's like I understand, like the panic button, I'm hitting it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
For me, it's like they're gonna come out that division. I understand that. I feel like it's gonna be a very close tie race in that division now. Probably 9-10 wins for them. But when it comes to playoff time and they see those big hitters in that 4 or 5, 3 spot, whatever, whoever's there, come on, I don't know. I really don't know.
They just gotta get healthy on their offensive line. And I read a report this past week. I think his name is Jensen. That's what his last name is.
Ryan Jensen, the center?
Yeah, Ryan Jensen. They're expecting him to come back in November. And I feel like this team just really needs a bye week. They really need a bye week to figure this thing out. Just take a break and really just reset and then come back. That's kind of what happened that very first year in Tampa, where things were going kind of like up and down. They still had a positive record. They're above 500 with Bruce Arians, but Tom Brady still had some issues with the play calling. But then after that bye week, Bruce Arians let him go. The play calling was all on Tom, and we all know how that ended up for them. So their bye week's in like 3 weeks from now, so they don't really have the time, to really hit the reset button as a team. But at the end of the day, I just have more confidence that Tom Brady's going to be able to figure this thing out because he's familiar with this entire team. And like we questioned Todd Bowles last week. We just have to just keep doing that again. But at the same time, I'm not cutting Tom Brady any slack. Don't get me wrong on this one. Like this loss was 100% on him. Like I don't care what the Panthers did offensively and how bad the defense played for the Buccaneers. Like this is on him. Like you go into Carolina and you don't even put up a touchdown. Like I understand Mike Evans, like he messed up like on a 40-yard bomb. But like after I saw him drop that pass, I thought like it was gonna be like the floodgates were gonna open. Like that was like the play calling for the rest of the day. Like they're gonna make home run hits and they're just gonna keep throwing the ball. Tom Brady's gonna throw the ball 50+ times and complete 67% of his passes and get maybe at least 2 touchdowns. And the run game has just been pretty garbage. Like that's a mixture of Leonard Fournette not being good, and of course the offensive line being terrible. But I'll blame the offensive line more. But this loss is 100% on Tom Brady, and I don't know what's going on with that team right now and how they're gonna figure this thing out. But in terms of who I should panic more on, I'm definitely going the Green Bay Packers because the division is still close for Tampa Bay. The Green Bay Packers, not so much. I'm biased aside. Like if looking at it on the outside, looking in if you're a fan of a different team, it looks like the Vikings are going to run off with that division. And like even with them on a bye week this week, it still felt like a win because the Packers lost and the Lions lost. And I know the Bears got to win, but they're not competing for anything. So like, can the Packers really come back in our division and get 8, 9, 10 wins? Because that's what it's looking like for the Vikings this year when you look at their remaining schedule. The Buccaneers, their schedule is a little bit tough, but I feel like they can still chip away wins here and there. But in a division that's not really good.
I feel like obviously the offense is not clicking, right? But we got to talk about this defense. This defense was, they was top tier the last 2 years. They were top tier defense on all fronts of the ball.
Whooped our ass week 1.
They were top tier defense on all fronts of the ball. Now this year, they're one of the worst defenses we're seeing right now. The fall off is insane. Teams like Carolina scoring on them. Who they lose to last week? I'm not too sure. It was
Mitch Trubisky.
You know what I'm saying? Like 10. I think it was like 5 or 6 3rd and 14s, 3rd and 15s to get completed. I really believe this defense is done, and they're not like what they used to be. I feel like last year and the year before, especially with the Super Bowl run they had, and they went to the Super Bowl with that defense, it's not the same. It's not the same. They're not making stops on certain teams. And once they start seeing the big hitters, man, I don't know. I feel very scared for my guy Tom.
That's the thing. Before you go ahead, like that's the thing about this team.
Todd Bowles, I want to speak about Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians. I really believe Bruce Arians is levels ahead of Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles was supposed to be this defensive genius coming into this team and everything, but he hasn't shown nothing. He said he didn't want to re-sign JPP. They didn't want to re-sign Ndamukong Suh, 2 interior lineman forces that helped them out extremely last year and the year before. But this year, they didn't re-sign him, man. It just the defense is very lethargic. Their cornerbacks it's not it. They're getting cooked left and right. I mean, I think they gave up a touchdown to a guy that barely played in like 3.5, 4 years. I forgot his name. And he cooked on that right side. So for me, a lot to go with Tampa. Although they're in the trash, very close division. I feel like they're gonna come out, but once it hits playoffs, man, that's the same problems we're seeing right now. It's gonna be hard for them to overcome.
I don't know, man. Like my thing is, it's like the Green Bay Packers. I'm not gonna how these last 3 weeks you said it's a get right week. They're gonna get right. They're gonna fix their issues. They're gonna get back on track, right? And of course, they've given no indication of that. Like at no point. Like the same thing should be applied to the Buccaneers. They have given us no indication that this team is going to suddenly fix their issues, right? And to say, oh, well, they have Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady hasn't been Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been Aaron Rodgers. It's the same principle. And the fact that Tom Brady has better weapons and he's looked just as worse, if not a little bit better than Aaron Rodgers. It's just like, what? Why should we believe this? Like, they legit lost to a team with that is not even looking to win. They don't want to win.
It was like, like, let me say this, like PJ Walker, Chubba Bubba Hubba, and Dante Foreman. That's like when you buy
This
2K,
team-
right? No, it's when you buy 2K, right? You got a couple brown shirts that watch the game going up to the park. That's what it was.
They're not trying to win.
Yeah.
Like this literally, this Panthers team is not looking to win. They don't want to win, and you lose to them. Like, I can't cut Tom Brady any slack and think, well, they're just gonna get better. It's a garbage division. They're gonna fix things. No, I don't not believe this team's gonna fix things. Right? They might sneak into the playoffs, maybe, but I just don't believe in this team. Same way, like, you guys don't believe in the Packers, I don't believe in the Buccaneers at all. And at this point, like, I have no reason to believe in them. So, Mud, you can go.
I think that's fair. That's fair to
I'm gonna
say.
let you speak after this, though.
But it's all you now.
I mean, 7 rings like Tom Brady. I'm not concerned about the Buccaneers or Tom Brady one bit. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, bro. Yes, it is very odd and very, it's scary, to see how bad the Bucs are playing right now on all aspects, on both sides of the ball, like offense and defense. You know what I'm saying? It is scary. But at the end of the day, bro, you got to think about it, man. They still haven't even had all their wide receivers, bro, healthy, like all together, playing together. You know what I mean? All weeks. You got to consider that. Once they get all their players back together, healthy and clicking, who's stopping the Bucs on offense, bro? Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Their O-line is still hurt. You still got Lenny's, big ass. You know what I mean? So,
Man,
it's like,
I don't know, man.
like, at the end of the day, it's like, at the end of the day, if the Buccaneers defense, gets back to how they were playing week 1 and stuff like that, and how the Bucs how they've been like Super Bowl, defense and from the defense from like years back, bro. I am not concerned about the Buccaneers. I'm not concerned about Tom Brady, because I know once he gets his weapons back, bro, Tom Brady gonna do his Dougie. You know what I mean?
You're not concerned, right? But they scored 3 points with Tom on the field, Uncle Lenny on the field, Mike Evans on the field, and Chris Godwin on the field. You're telling me you're not concerned of them with all their talent right there? They got all their weapons back the last 2 weeks, and you only scored 3 points last week? Come on now.
It's very.
It happens though. It's the
concerning.
NFL. It happens. Bad weeks happen, but I'm
It
not.
happens.
I'm not gonna say. Is that gonna be consistent? You think the Buccaneers and Tom Brady gonna consistently put up 3 to 6 points?
How much
You
did
know
they
what
score
I'm saying?
against
Like bare
Pittsburgh?
minimum points weekly. Like
They put
hell
up
no.
18 against Pittsburgh, but like it wasn't even like a crazy.
It wasn't
18.
a crazy 18 to me. It was just like, it's
I'll
Pittsburgh.
go ahead and say this. Like, Abdi makes a very, very valid point. Between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, I'm more disappointed in Tom Brady than I am in Aaron Rodgers, because my expectations for Aaron Rodgers are already very low, and like you can't go any lower than where Aaron Rodgers is right now. But Tom Brady, I thought this guy was going to come in and get this team going again and making another Super Bowl run, and especially with how wide open the NFC has been this year. I thought it was just going to be a breeze and a cakewalk for him, but it hasn't looked like that. But I'll go ahead and say this. These next 3 weeks, we'll really see what this Buccaneers team is about, because they have Baltimore on a very short week on Thursday night. Then they have the LA Rams. So both these games are home games, Baltimore and the Rams. Oh, these next 3 games are home games. So Baltimore, Rams, and Seattle. So these next 3 games are like a huge test for this Buccaneers football team, because they're supposed to go into Pittsburgh, get a win there, go into Carolina and get a win there. But now you failed to do that. And now you got 3 teams that are playing pretty good football right now. The Ravens, they're doing okay. The Rams, they've had their ups and downs this season, but we know what they're capable of doing when they're, on their day. And then Seattle, of course, they're, the team that's surprised everybody this year. They're at the top of the division. We'll get to them in a bit, but we'll go ahead. We'll really see what this team is about in these next 3 weeks. And that's after the Seattle game is their bye week. So right now they're sitting at 3-4. Who knows what they could be sitting at after that Seattle game going into a bye week, right? And I just said they need a bye week to reset everything. So like if they're able to get wins out of this and then go into their bye week, at least come out of this 2-1, then that's a plus for them, and they're going to reset during their bye week. But we just don't know what this Buccaneers football team is capable of. So it's a good win for the Panthers, even though they're not looking to win. Like Abdi said, and you guys all said, like they just traded their star running back on a Thursday to San Francisco, and like they're not looking to win. But I guess it's a good one for them sitting at 2-5.
Hey man, let's speak about this, man. 4 weeks, DJ Moore, Baker Mayfield, right? Absolutely garbanzo. Just garbanzo. My guy PJ Walker comes in this weekend. DJ Moore is right back to himself. So, hey, DJ Moore.
Yeah, I mean, it was his second week. You know, he had to face the LA Rams his
So,
first
you know,
week.
wait, they faced the Rams. Oh yeah, they faced the Rams. I forgot.
He didn't pass the line of scrimmage, but I mean, PJ Walker looked like a different guy.
He looked like a different guy.
With
I
the
ain't gonna lie, he
Buccaneers,
looked
man.
like a different guy this week. But yeah,
But-
Chubba Bubba Hubba, man. Carolina, good one for them.
Good win. But we'll go ahead and move on
Like
to the next
niggas
game.
don't like. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good.
But like, they don't, it's actually so funny to me, bro, and so hypocritical. PJ Walker is out here balling out as a backup quarterback. Not balling out, but he's out here. He can really hold his own and really put up points as a quarterback, as a backup quarterback against a legit NFL defense. And people are out here praising Cooper Rush for putting up 100 yards, 90 yards, and the defense won the game.
Hey man,
Like, I hate the
You
music,
hate
bro.
Cooper
Like,
Rush.
you're
and
hating
it's
Cooper
people like
Rush, like,
Steve Bayless that do this. Like, come on, man. People
but
like,
you're hating on Cooper Rush like he did something bad for you guys though. He's just a backup quarterback that came in as
the
a placeholder.
backup quarterback that all he did was just handed the ball off to his running backs and do dump passes. And lucky,
And
it
so
was,
just cause
20, 30-yard
Sid
passes.
Bayless, just cause Sid Bayless and them hype him up and everything, you're gonna disrespect him?
Now, I
So
can't.
Cooper Rush
I know.
is
I
not
know.
him.
I understand what Mahad is saying though,
So
because there's
I'm
like
saying-
people that were just like,
yeah,
like,
like
it was like a make a wish gas for
Yeah.
Cooper Rush. It was just like, bro, like okay, like these
It's
guys
okay.
thought he was legitimate starting quarterback.
Yes.
Nah, no. I
It's
never
not
believed.
good. Bro,
No,
people
there's
say,
people
yeah,
that
Cooper
legit
Rush-
believe that.
Yeah, people are like,
People are
bro,
because
Cooper
people
Rush,
hate
like,
Dak.
Cooper
That's the thing. People hate Dak, so they're gonna be like, "Oh, Dak's out. Now we're gonna support Cooper."
So that
Rush."
Eagles game was
People hate- and
necessary for
hate
people to
Baker
realize.
Mayfield.
Mhm.
And people hate Baker Mayfield. So people are gonna be like, yo, Baker Mayfield is absolutely horrendously, garbage. And I'm like, yo, he's bad, but he's not that bad as people.
Wait.
him
You really,
today.
wait. Baker
Turn out
Mayfield is garbage.
He's garbage, but he's not. I'm not saying like, but y'all say he's like absolutely like extra garbage. You know what I'm saying?
If
Like
I'm
he's
ranking
garbage, but, like,
quarterbacks,
he's
right?
not
If I'm
that
ranking
bad,
quarterbacks,
bro.
right? If I'm ranking
Huh?
quarterbacks, right? I got 30 of them, right? Guess where
Okay,
he's
no,
going?
Yeah,
yeah.
30 quarterbacks.
Baker-
If you got 30
Baker-
if you got 30 starting quarterbacks, Baker
If
Mayfield
30
is
healthy-
lit in
okay,
the
everybody-
last five.
Everybody's healthy. Baker's
Yeah,
not healthy.
Baker's in
right
the
now.
last
Put that in-
five. He's in the last five.
Was Baker healthy the first 4 weeks?
He's down there. He's down there with Marcus Mariota
20.
and those guys.
Top 20.
I got none.
No.
I one of the.
That's the
biggest
Baker. This is the
fans.
Baker Mayfield fan. You can't say
I
none.
got
You
none to
can't say
say.
none.
I got none to say about this Panthers team, man.
No,
Let's go ahead and move on to the next game though. The Giants beat the Jaguars 23-17. The Giants sitting at 6-1, right behind the Eagles in their division. I mean, I already apologized to this team last week, so I got
No.
nothing to say.
No. Everybody here needs to apologize to Daniel Jones. I don't care. This guy's done his
Who,
job.
me?
Yes,
I
we
thought
need to.
Daniel Jones. I never
Oh,
dissed
I
it.
gotta apologize.
No, we need to we need to
No,
apologize.
I know
to
who
Daniel
needs to
Jones.
Danny
apologize. No, I
Dimes.
know who
Hey,
needs to apologize.
Danny
It's that guy
Dimes.
right there with the Vikings background. That guy been disrespecting Daniel Jones the last.
Yeah,
week and a half
actually, you
years.
need to apologize
He's
to
been
Daniel Jones.
disrespecting him.
The guy's
I
been.
gotta say, I've been very critical of him throughout his entire career. I'm still gonna be critical of him, but I will say this: he has improved on one thing that was really holding him back, and that was turning over the football. Like he was giving teams the ball in great field position for them to go ahead and score. And I feel like now that he's worked on his ball security,
Man.
he's extending drives, and they're getting points on the board every now and then, or more consistently than before.
And he's getting it done on the ground as well. 100 rushing yards.
He had
and a
100 rushing
touchdown.
yards against the Jaguars last game, and now he's giving his defense time to rest. Of course, that's very important. You want to extend drives, so your
The guy's
defense-
playing within the
leader.
confines of the offense. He's doing exactly what he needs to
And
be doing. Like
it's like
he's been a little bit better than what a game manager is, in my opinion. I don't
really
think
doesn't. He really doesn't have a number one receiver on the team. Like
he has he legit has Foot Locker wide receivers. This
literally
guy's been working.
it's a new receiver every single week.
That's what I'm saying. Like these,
That's
I'm
credit
telling
to
you, he
Brian
has
Dable, man.
there's
His
a bunch of
expectations.
NPCs. There's a bunch of NPCs out there running routes for him. Like these guys are literally bots. Like there's bots out there running wide receivers.
I do like Wandale Robinson though. I feel like this.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
think
like
Second
Madden
week is
franchise
second week
mode,
in
you know?
week.
It's legit man in franchise mode. But
getting a
of course,
shot.
we have to give credit where credit is due, and especially to Saquon Barkley. I mean, the guy's
Yeah.
been phenomenal. But I think they came into this season hoping like Saquon would be who Saquon is, and he's been that and more. The guy's just been getting it done on the ground and receiving. Like that's the guy that their go-to. When things are going wrong, throw to Saquon. When things are going wrong, hand the ball to Saquon. Every single time, it goes back to Saquon. And of course, the defense has shown up. And this team, you just have to give them credit. Like you can say that Like they've been executing close games. I don't know if you guys realize every game has been a pretty close game.
I think they're one of the most clutchest teams in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
They still have
every
the
game's been a close game, and they've literally executed to a T. They've got the job done. So I have to give credit to this Giants team, and they're legit. Like you guys can say, regardless of the teams that they face here and there, but they've gotten the job done. It's all about playing who's in front of you and getting the job done, and that's exactly what they've done. So credit to the Giants.
Yeah, 100% credit to them. But I'm giving like majority of the credit to Brian Dable. I feel like he came into this job and he demanded one thing, and that was just excellence. And it doesn't matter what your name value is and who you are and what you did in the past. It's all about what can you do for me now? What can you do for me in today? Like in this moment, today, going forward. And like we seen guys like Kenny Golladay, guys that got paid 70 mil in over 4 years on this team that don't sniff the field. And a guy like Kadarius Toney, who broke out last year on the scene. I'm not too sure if he's still injured or not, dealing with those hammy injuries. But even when he was playing, he didn't play too much. So he's just going with guys that are working hard and guys that are just willing to fight for their spot on a team. And those guys are producing. It all comes down to who wants it more. And he's just going with the guys that want it more. And like, if you demand excellence and everybody's buying into what you're selling, like there's no reason for you not to be a successful football team. Like we talk about guys like Dan Campbell and the Lions, like, yeah, they're going to fight for you. They're going to fight for you. But at the end of the day, like they still have their issues. But like this Giants team, like, of course, they're sitting here at 6-1. We definitely, nobody could have predicted this in their wildest dreams, sitting here at 6-1. Like they're about to be a playoff team. Like legit. They're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna find a way to get three to four more wins after this, and they're gonna be a playoff team. So all the credit in the world goes to Brian Dable. But of course, like I said, Daniel Jones, I'll be critical of him, but I can't lie. He's been nothing short of great for this Giants football team. You know, if you're not turning over the ball and you're giving your team an opportunity to, you know, your defense an opportunity to make plays for you, that's just what it comes down to, man. Of course, we could talk about Saquon all we want, but right now in New York, they got everything clicking for them, and they're not the only New York team that's going off as well. But they're making the playoffs, and I think we owe the entire team an apology because our predictions were completely off about them. But it's a good one for the Giants. But this Jaguars football team, man, I'm glad I said we're gonna have to pump the brakes on Trevor Lawrence, because all the hype and the gas, it stopped a couple weeks ago. But like, if you believe just a little bit in him, it all stops now. The train stops here. Like, you can exit the train if you want. Like, there's nothing good about this guy.
Funny thing on Sunday, man. This guy, y'all text me. He was like, "Yeah, man, the train stopped." I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm 100% with you." I think they got like a first down. He's like, "Hold on. The train might not be ending. They might march out a score." They got to the 1 yard line, time right out. Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, train stop.
Train stops here, man." I just feel like we really try to push this Jaguars team, and I know Big H was high on them, but of course, after what we saw in this team the very first couple of weeks, of course, we thought the ceiling was high for them, but they've hit rock bottom. They haven't won a game ever since, and it's been a down sled for them. So overall, man, it's a good one for the Giants. And next week, I believe they have. Who do they have next week? They have the Seahawks next week. So it's an interesting matchup. A team that's Seahawks are sitting at 4-3. 4-3. The Giants 6-1. You know, like it's gonna be an interesting matchup. You know, between two teams that are really, really good right now. I got to give credit to Seattle, but thoughts, Mud. This is the Giants we're talking about here, man. I know you got nothing nice to say.
I'll go after Mud.
I mean, yeah, obviously, man. It's the Giants, NFC East rival, but you got to give credit when it's really, you know, due. And I respect out of all teams, bro, other than obviously the Cowboys, other than every team in the NFC East, man, I give a lot of kudos and respect to the Giants, because, man, they're balling out, bro, with all the talent they have, and it's not a lot, you know what I mean? So kudos to Daniel Jones, bro, for what he's doing out there, and you know, you like getting touchdowns, and you know, utilizing the no-name receivers, bro, that he's playing with, and just doing what he's doing. And obviously Saquon is back. You know what I'm saying? He definitely exceeded, you know, my expectations and a lot of other people's expectations as well. Like, he's definitely by far a top 3 running back, if not top 2. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, without Saquon, bro, and, you know, on offense, man, this team would not, you know, nearly be as good. So, you know, shout out to Saquon, you know, for being the engine of that offense. You know, inshallah, he has a healthy season, and I just want to see how far, you know, the Giants can go. So, and then, you know, Brian Daboll, whatever his last name is, I mean, Yeah, he's an amazing coach. You know, he got these group of young guys, you know, discipline, and he got them ready to go every week. So, this Giants team is a great, a young team to watch, and they're going to be a problem in the NFC East, man. It's going to be tough going against them twice a year now. So, those memes and jokes that I had for them and their fan bases, I think it might be coming to an end. So, I hope not, but we'll see. We play them on Thanksgiving again, so we just gotta, whoop them with a healthy Dak this time. So let's see how it goes.
Man, shout out to the Giants, man. They playing fantastic this year. They exceeded everybody's expectations. Everybody's expectations. I can say in our podcast, everybody else's podcast, and all sport movements, they did not expect the Giants to be like this. They did not expect, even Giant fans, they were like, hey man, we got a new coach. I'm not expecting too much from him. We steadfast, hopefully 6-7 wins, get another top pick. But for them, it's the moon this year, and especially with Daniel Jones fixing up on his turnovers. I do give Dabo for that. I feel like he's putting him in situations to make smarter calls, smarter plays. But Daniel Jones, to me, is looking phenomenal. Like 200 yards passing, 107 yards rushing and a touchdown. He had one touchdown passing, one touchdown rushing. So they're hooping. Saquon's hooping. These NPC receivers are hooping. This defense, Kayvon Thibodeau and the boys, man, they on a roll too. So you got to pay respect to that defense a lot. I feel like the defense a lot of people don't be speaking about their defense, and they've been a fantastic defense. So, and for me, the Jags is just, I don't know, man. My guy Etienne, like I'm very hyped about him, very big about him, especially in fantasy and stuff like that. But this guy gets touched, he just lets the ball go. It looks like another.
He cooked this game though.
He cooked.
This game he cooked.
He cooked, but he had a fumble in the end zone.
Yeah, that was tough.
It was bad. So, I mean, he had a fantastic game. We're going to bring up the trade details. James Robinson got traded for, I think, a couple picks to the
Jets.
The
Jets.
Yeah, so James Robinson's out of the team. I feel like now it's time for Etienne to really take that step forward into that backfield. I mean, 10 carries, it was 12 carries, 114 yards. I mean, I really want to see what he can do with 22 carries, 23 carries, Feed the run game. I feel like they were winning the first 2 to 3 games this year running the ball. They were running the ball. It looked successful for them, and they kind of went away from it. So, yeah, pump the brakes on Trevor Lawrence, man. I felt like he hasn't thrown a TD in 5 games. I ain't gonna lie. So,
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
Wow, man.
It's been a while. So, yeah, that's what I got to say about the Jags. That's about it.
Yeah, I got Christian Kirk in fantasy too, so I get a little frustrated every time, Trevor, Damian Targaryen Lawrence don't make him up, play, bro. It's like, what you doing? Like, what is you doing, bro? Like, what's going on, man? But yeah,
I hear you on that, man.
Trevor Lawrence, man. I mean, I had high hopes on Trevor Lawrence myself. So, I mean, hopefully he can just, step it up again. But I mean, right now, yeah, it's looking very for him.
We'll go
Because
ahead.
he has a talent, bro. He has a talent around him on offense.
For sure. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Cleveland Browns on the road facing the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens won this one 23-20. Pretty much a nail biter all the way through. Another win for the Ravens, but not an impressive game for Lamar Jackson. Abdi, kick us off, man. I know you got something to say about your boy.
Fire Greg Roman, man. Fire Greg Roman. Like, this is not even just me saying that. Any single person who's not biased against Lamar Jackson, right, and watches these Ravens games, know this offense is just garbage, right? The inability to get the ball in your playmaker's hands is just, you use Lamar Jackson as a game manager. Like, how disrespectful is that? And yes, they got the win, and I think they fed Gus Edwards a lot, but it's just like, you have Lamar Jackson and you threw the ball 16 times, I want to say. And yeah, exactly. And
9 completions only.
And it's just like, what are you expecting with this offense? Like, it seems like there's a lot of frustration, even if they got this win, right? There's a lot of frustration coming out of this team right now. Devin Duvernay did not get the ball. How many? Can you tell me how many receptions did Mark Andrews have? How many yards? Like,
Not one.
I don't.
Zero receptions, 0 yards, bro.
This is just his offense.
The funny thing is, they made him run the ball. That's the funny thing. Hey, Mark Andrews had 1 carry.
They made Mark Andrews, the quarterback, toss it to Lamar Jackson. And that's the only time Andrews was really involved like that. And it's just like, any Ravens fan or anybody that's not biased against Lamar Jackson watches this and just knows this offense is terrible, and it's really holding Lamar Jackson back. This offense is holding Lamar Jackson back, and I really believe by the end of the season, right, if they don't fire Greg Roman, you end up losing Lamar Jackson. I really and truly believe this, that they might end up losing Lamar Jackson at some point, right? If they keep on going with this Greg Roman, because Lamar Jackson's just not happy with his offense, and I think a lot of people aren't. This offense just lacks diversity. It's not good. It's not fun to watch. It's just very run heavy. So, I mean, they got the win, but it's just like I believe the Browns kicker missed, and it's just like
He got
that-
blocked. if I'm pretty
he got blocked, I believe, right? And this team is just not very good offensively, and that's a lack of talent and inability to get the ball in the playmakers' hands like Andrew. And of course, I just feel for Lamar Jackson. It feels like the Ravens are going against him by putting him in this situation. So that's all I
Nah,
got to say about
yeah.
this situation.
The minute I see Mark Andrews under quarterback and Lamar Jackson as a running back in the backfield, I say it's the Ravens against Lamar. I really feel like they do not want him to succeed. They want to put an image on him. They want to get this in the way. It's like, oh, he's not the guy that deserves to get paid $250 million, even if it's guaranteed or not. Anything close to that. I mean, it's crazy. 9 for 16 passing, throwing the ball in the backfield to him to make a rush. Although he did get the first down on that play, but I feel like they're going against him on the offensive end. They're not giving him any type of receiver help. I mean, it's just like the Packers. These guys.
I feel like this guy I feel like we've gotten so used to Lamar Jackson's greatness that this guy covers up the deficiencies of this team. Like this guy makes the team look good, right? Legit, Lamar is a floor raiser. This guy like legit raises the rest of the team. He makes the team look like it's savable, but it's not. Like you have to fix this offense. This offensive coordinator needs to go. Greg Roman's been criticized for a very long time. Like how often have people like guys like Willie Snead come out and say this Ravens team is just like they're holding Lamar Jackson back. You've seen the shots that Marquise Brown was sending towards his offense, right? And it wasn't towards Lamar. He praised Lamar. He was sending shots towards his offense, right? You've had wide receivers. Like when was the last time Baltimore signed a big name wide receiver? This was even before Lamar Jackson.
But it showed me everything. Lamar came. He was in a parking lot. I think he was grabbing food.
Yeah.
15, 16 fans, and they asked him, "Man, what's up with Greg Roman?" And he just said, "Yeah, you got to ask Greg Roman that." He was like,
That's what I'm saying. Like even Lamar Jackson,
And
Lamar
it's like,
Jackson's a chill guy.
little guy, and he was just like, "Yo, man, you just got to ask Greg Roman about that. It's not me." And it just shows you right there, like he's probably having problems with the offensive coordinator and stuff like that. It's embarrassing for him to throw the ball 16 times in a close situated game like that. I feel like they got lucky and came out with that W. I really believe they got lucky and came out with that W because I picked the Browns to win, and Ravens offense was nowhere to be mustered. Even Kenyon Drake, he only had like 15 carries. 50.
They fed the ball a lot more to Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
Gus Edwards had 57 yards or 60 yards in total. It
I
wasn't
think
even that much. It was 16 carries, 60 yards, although he did have 2 end zone touchdowns. But this offense, it goes as far as Lamar can go, and I feel like they're really restraining him. So, I mean, good win in the divisional battle, but, man, the offense is just – I don't think – if it keeps on going like this and the way that it looks, they're really not going to make a lot of damage, even if they make the playoffs, right? They might not even make the playoffs the way they're playing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Big H, on that. I don't think the Ravens would make the playoffs if they just keep playing like this on both sides of the ball, man, offense and defense. Defense, they're just too talented to just be this bad, like, and just choke up games. Like, it doesn't matter about the play call or nothing like that, bro. These players are too talented to just make mistakes on the field, bro, when it really matters. So that goes for Lamar, that goes for, both sides of the ball, like Marlon Humphreys, that goes for the safeties, that goes for these linebackers, bro. Like they need to make, these key stops in these key moments as well. Like it shouldn't just strictly always be put onto the scheme, which it should be on the scheme as well. But, these players make these plays, what I'm saying? They get paid to make these plays. So it's like at the end of the day, bro, it's like, it's unfortunate, how, like the slow start, the rough start that they're in right now. Like, how these games are just so close and that they're losing these close games that they should be winning. But I mean, if these play calls don't change, like we said, then yeah, the Ravens they're in deep trouble, and that division is only gonna get tougher. Like Deshaun Watson's gonna come back. We can't forget about that. And then the Bills are in that division too, right?
No, it's just the Bengals and
Bengals,
Steelers, and Browns.
Sorry. Yeah, and then the Bengals they're rolling right now too. How can we forget about that? So it's like the Ravens, man, it's like they need to start cooking right now. And I love Lamar too. Like I'm a big Lamar fan, a big Lamar advocate. So I'm not gonna sit here and say Lamar's the one that's messing up. But yeah, there's plays where like Lamar should, like last week against the Giants, like that key interception. Like he did not that late interception. Like he did not need to make that pass. And just if you want to get that contract that you want that's guaranteed, bro, you need to do better. You know what I mean? So Lamar needs to just obviously just put his head down, just keep doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? He's in a contract year, so he just needs to just stay focused as well. But I mean, with what he's given, bro, they're just gonna try to test him, bro. You know what I mean? So they're not gonna surround him with better pieces. It's just like you want a contract, show us what you can do with these pieces. You know what I mean? So it's not going to get easier for Lamar. I just think Lamar just got to just put his head down and just, be that leader and just, work with what he's got and just, and then the defense has to be better with, closing out plays and obviously Lamar has to be better in the clutch as well. But it's Lamar Jackson. I'm not worried about Lamar. I'm just more worried about obviously play calling and this defense, man. Like this defense is too talented, bro, to be messing up like this. So yeah,
I mean, I just feel like we're kind of using Greg Roman as an excuse for this game because Lamar, ever since week 3, he hasn't been playing well since that game.
You're saying just this game. Greg Roman's been used as a scapegoat. He's been labeled as one of the worst offensive coordinators in the league the last 3.5-4 years.
But at the same time, those first 3 weeks when he was scoring 3-4 touchdowns a game, I didn't hear anything about Greg Roman. All I heard was
Lamar Jackson. That's because Lamar Jackson. Like
now Lamar Jackson came back down to reality. And we all thought the first couple of weeks when he was struggling, throwing for over like 144 passing yards, 174 passing yards. Of course, quarterbacks are going to have their ups and downs. They're going to be able to bounce back. But I'm not going to go ahead and say like this one's on Lamar. But I do agree with you guys. Greg Roman has to do a better job with the play calling because, I mean, you let him throw the ball over 29 times throughout the entire season. You only give him 16 attempts. I feel like that's just unacceptable. Like, this is your quarterback. This is supposed to be your franchise quarterback too, even though you guys haven't paid him. But that's the plan. Like, he's your starting quarterback. You should let him throw the ball. But Lamar Jackson just hasn't been playing well as of late either. So, like, it's no disrespect to him. And I know he's looking for a contract. But like I said, yesterday's price might just be today's price simply because he's just not performing up to the level we saw him play at in the beginning of the year. But overall, I think it was just a good win for the Ravens. They're able to come out of this one with a W. But yeah, the play calling just has to be better for Lamar. Lamar overall has to be better. But the one thing the Ravens are going to do, man, they're just going to run the ball. That's their offense. They're going to be a successful team running the football. That's exactly what they did. Gus Edwards came back. They lost J.K. Dobbins during the week, and Gus Edwards came in and he did his job. So I'm not surprised that that's what they were. That's what they resorted to. So
they got it. They always.
But the thing is, though, like
you always.
I like to think about it like this, right? Like, you know how you mentioned Matt LaFleur, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to say anything about Matt LaFleur when they were winning, right? When the Packers are winning and everything and it looks good, right? You're not going to, there's no like microscope under Matt LaFleur, right? Because their quarterback covers it up. Because you mentioned Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams were covering up Matt LaFleur. Let's be honest, that's legit what you said, right? That Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams made him look good, right? And now you lose Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers just can't be that guy as at the moment. Now Matt LaFleur is under a microscope on what he's able to do, and you criticized him for that. Same situation here, right? It's easy for Lamar to just cover up, and I mentioned this, cover up the deficiencies of this team, right? But now when the team is struggling, now Greg Roman's under a microscope. So for me, it's just more so Lamar is being put in a position where he has to do too much to try to get this team wins, right? And it's just not, this is not sustainable for Lamar's success and for this team's success. Like, you're not going to go far putting your quarterback in a position where he feels like he has to do the absolute most for them to try to get a win, right? Or even try not do anything at all. As example, this game, right, where he has to throw the ball only 16 times and they barely sketch out a win just because the kicker got his field goal blocked. So the Ravens aren't setting up Lamar for success. And like right now, like if I'm Lamar Jackson personally, I'm angry at the Ravens. I just, like, I'm pissed off at the Ravens. I feel like I'm not being put in a position to get what I deserve in terms of the money I'm seeking. So like this team, like offensively, I don't know. They're just gonna, of course, what you mentioned, stick to the running and then try to feed Andrews. But like Devin Duvernay, right? The guy is a return specialist. Bateman's been injured. They don't have Prochet. He doesn't really get into the offense. And then Mark Andrews. That's about it. Like, this team, and the running game hasn't been good this year. The offensive line hasn't been good this year. The play calling has been garbage. If I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm just like, I look at guys like Tua, right? I have Jalen Waddle. I have Tyreek Hill. I look at Joe Burrow. I have Jamar Chase. I have T. Higgins. I have Tyler Boyd. I look at Josh Allen. I have Stephon Diggs. I look at Patrick Mahomes. I have Tyreek Hill. Like, all these young quarterbacks, they all have pieces. Why is Lamar, Justin Herbert? Look at what he has. Eckler, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. What does Lamar work with? Like it's not fair to Lamar that he has to work with bums outside of Andrews. It's like I just don't understand this team, man. That's the thing that pisses me off about this team.
Bateman's a bum, but he's not healthy
He's
right
been
now.
injured though. He's been injured.
Yeah.
But even then, like, look at all these young quarterbacks and what they have. It's just what does Lamar have? Like come
Yeah,
on,
it's
man.
it's just not fair. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Jets and the Broncos. The Jets won this one 16-9.
You know what's crazy? There would have been no difference if Russell Wilson played this game. Now that I think about it.
Man, the only thing I gotta say about
I'm not talking about this game because I didn't watch it and it was ugly. The score was ugly. I'm not talking
I
about
only
this
got a good one for the Jets, man. They lost probably one of their future key players.
Brees.
And Brees Hall, one of the top. I can say he was a top 7 running back. You know, this season, the way he was playing, the way he was helping the Jets, and to see him go out with a torn ACL and a meniscus, it's a big loss for the Jets, man. Big loss for the Jets. They traded for James Robinson today. James Robinson is a great running back, but to have Brees Hall was pretty different. You know, although this game was very, very ugly, they grinded out a W. I'm pretty sure the Jets are 5-2 right now, and it's looking like you know they can go far. They really can go far with Robert Saleh as their head coach. The defense is balling. Shout out my guy Sauce Gardner. You know what I'm saying? I've been stalking him, so he been hooping. But this Brees Hall thing, it might hit him hard. So we'll see what happens. And then on the Broncos end, man, keep on losing. Just keep on losing, man. Seattle needs that top 5 pick, you know. So I don't care what happens to the Broncos. I just pray they lose every single week from now, and we'll end up with that top 3 pick from them, you know. So yeah, Mud, anything to say?
Yeah, obviously it's tough for Brees Hall to go down. I'm a big fan of Brees Hall. You know, he's a young, great stud of a running back, bro. Like I like to say he's like me, Saquon, bro, because he could do it all damn near. Like he could run the ball, he's a great pass catcher. Yeah, he can do it all, bro. So like I love Brees Hall, you know what I mean? And that's a huge, bro, tough loss for the Jets. Hopefully he has a bounce back year next year. And I mean, adding with the addition of, James Robinson, I think the Jets are in great hands. You know, James Robinson is a great running back, bro. I think he's a better fit than Kareem Hunt for that team. I mean, I heard there were like rumblings of them trying to go get Kareem Hunt.
It's like, yeah, they already got Michael Carter. I feel like you just need that power back.
Exactly. So I think, yeah, exactly like you said. I think you need a power back who has like speed, and I think James Robinson is that guy. And James Robinson is more motivated in some aspects because he just has more to prove right now, bro. You know what I mean? Like just coming back from like the Achilles injury.
Personally, I'd be pissed off if I was James Robinson.
No, I kind of seen it though. Like the Jags kind of like lowered his touches the last 2.5, 3 weeks.
Nah, if I'm him, I'm heated, man.
It's like he's
off.
out there. Yeah, he's got something to prove, bro. So I mean, Jets. I mean, even though they lost Brees Hall, it's tough for them. You know what I mean? But I mean, they're in great hands and great shape right now with the addition of James Robinson, and of course that young defense, man, is they're legit. You know what I mean? Like let's be honest. The only concern I've ever had about that Jets defense was truly just their pass rush. I can't name you any of their pass rushers other than like Quentin Williams, and he's not even really a pass rusher. He just stops the run. So he's like. I couldn't, I was really concerned about that front seven, but man, they're balling out, bro. The secondary.
I mean, you can mention that their quarterback is garbage, right? Let me point that out.
Hey,
Zach
Joe
Wilson.
Joe Flacco is a way better quarterback. Like Zach Wilson, don't get me wrong. I mess with Zach, bro, but
I don't mess with Zach, bro.
You gotta show me more, bro. Like right now, it's like
like
name value. You know what I mean? It's like Mike White is better than you. Joe Flacco, like the backup quarterbacks are better. They outplay you. So it's like, what's going on, bro? I mean, at the end of the day,
like they're getting wins, right? They're getting wins, right? Like it's not an issue, right? They're getting wins, but it's just like Elijah Moore, right? He wanted a trade, right? And I'm not mad at him for that. Like I'm not mad at him, even though that they're winning, right? Because at the end of the day, right, this guy's looking for a contract by the end of the season. Like by some point he's gonna be looking for a contract. And what matters, right, is your stats. That's what matters. This guy, like, what happened to Garrett Wilson? Like. The guy died. Like the guy, I don't see him on the field no more.
Man, that guy disappeared, man.
He disappeared too. So it's not just Elijah Moore that's gone. It's both of them, Garrett Wilson and Joe Flacco was doing a good job at least getting them the ball. Like you can say now that they reverted back to they're running, but they know that Zach Wilson can't throw, so they're just gonna hand the ball off. They're not gonna trust Zach Wilson to throw the ball. So it's just like you don't get your best wide receivers involved because of the lack of talent at quarterback. To me, it's a tough situation if you're a wide receiver on that team, especially Elijah Moore.
I disagree with that. I simply don't believe that. I think Zach Wilson, he's a talented quarterback. I just
No,
feel like the offense, their game plan each and every week, of course, it's running the ball with, of course, Brees Hall, but like they were throwing the ball more with guys like Mike White and Joe Flacco. So why'd you stop that now
Zach
when
Wilson's
Zach
not talented
Wilson?
at throwing the ball. That's why.
No, he can throw the ball when you give him the opportunity, but he's only throwing the ball 20, 25 times a game. Like, how are you gonna get your receivers the
Wait,
ball
wait,
if
wait.
he's
What
not
makes
throwing
you?
the?
What makes you? Wait, what makes you say Zach Wilson can throw the ball like that?
He can get his play. He can. We've
Oh,
seen
Zach Wilson has
flashes of
arm,
Zach.
bro. Zach
He
Wilson
has,
go.
he
No,
has
no.
a
Zach
talent.
Zach Wilson is not nice, man. The guy's a game manager.
I just don't. I just feel like they're not setting him up to be successful. Like you, like
No, they're
he's-
protecting him. They're doing a good job. They're
Yeah.
protecting him.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Of
They're
protecting-
literally like doing like what the Patriots were doing with Mac Jones last year, just on a more extreme scale.
I mean,
That's
I
legit
just
what's
feel like
going
they're holding him back. Of course, like you guys said, they're trying to protect him, but I don't think Zach Wilson needs any protection. Just like how is he going to learn as a young quarterback in this league if you're not giving him the opportunity to go ahead and make plays? Like, of course, we saw flashes of what Garrett Wilson can do last year. We saw Elijah Moore step onto the scene with Mike White. Like, why does that passing game stop when it comes to Zach Wilson? But I mean, at the end of the day, they're just going to stick to what's been working for them, and that was running the ball this week against the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos, they lost Russell Wilson, and I picked them. I picked the Jets to win regardless, even with Russell Wilson. It wasn't really going to make much of a difference. But their backup quarterback, he probably looked a little bit better than Russ throughout the season. So overall, I think it was a good win for the Jets. They're sitting at 5-2 right now, and they're starting to figure this thing out. Like their run game is going for them. They made a trade for James Robinson. What does that mean for fantasy owners? I don't know. I'm a fantasy owner of James Robinson myself, so I'm hearing things he's going to be the lead back. Michael Carter's still there, so I really just don't know. But they have like a 1-2 punch there. James Robinson, he's still very talented, and I do agree. I'm pissed if I'm James Robinson, because at the start of this year, there was a doctor out there that said that he wasn't going to be able to step on the field again and be good at all, and for him to overcome that and be successful in Jacksonville, and then just to go to resort to Travis Etienne, who's balling out. I give credit where credit's due. He's doing his thing, but like James Robinson gave you no reason for him to move for you to move on from him and go to Etienne. But at the end of the day, he has an opportunity now to once again showcase his talents in New York. And this Jets team is rolling right now, man. They're sitting at 5-2. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game, the Texans and the Raiders. Not really an interesting game, but the Raiders win this one 38-20. Raiders are sitting at 2-4 right now. They're they're probably the most interesting team, I would say, that's with a 2-5 record, in my opinion.
I kind of like the direction that the Raiders are heading towards. I can't lie.
Yeah,
I like the fact that they start like these last 2 weeks with Josh Jacobs, what they've been doing with Josh Jacobs, like that really, like, if you build your offense around handing the running back the ball, like I feel like that opens up a lot for your passing game, right? Instead of putting Derek Carr in this position, because I feel like early on to the season, like Derek Carr was thinking like, it's a pass heavy offense. I need to get Devontae involved. I need to get Hunter in for the ball. I need to get Darren Waller the ball, right? And it's just like they were losing these close games, and like now they're just like, we have a very talented running back in Josh Jacobs. Let's give him the ball, right? That's going to open up the passing game. Devontae's going to get open regardless of what happens, but we have this running back. Let's get him the ball. Let's establish the run, and then the passing game's going to go for it. So I like where this team is headed. I feel like they're not far off from the Chargers in this division. I feel like they can make a push for that position. So I like the Raiders, man. And I told you guys I changed my view on them. I think that they're going to finish get into the playoffs at this rate. So I like where this team's headed. So it's a good win for them.
This what I expected from the Raiders to do with Josh Jacobs and then the new coach coming in. I really thought he was going to, from week one, invest in the run game, pound the ball, and then on the back end with Carr, let him, be the game manager he is. He has Devontae. Devontae's going to be open every single time. You don't have to force feed him. You don't have to throw the ball 30 times his direction and be like, oh, we have to get him involved. Devontae's going to be open. Whenever you need him, throw to him. But for them, last 3 weeks with Josh Jacobs, man, it's just been fantastic. That guy been cooking up. Like, you can't tackle him. Like, from ever since that Chiefs week, he's just been running people over. It's crazy. And I feel like, a couple games slipped out of their hands. Like Chargers game slipped out of their hands. The Chiefs game slipped out of their hands. There's been a couple games. So
they choked against the Cardinals.
Choked against the Cardinals. How can I forget about that too? So a lot of close games they lost. 2-5. I feel like we know what the Broncos situation is. They're horrible. They get them out. Chargers, they're looking pretty bad right now. So they could end second in the division. They can possibly make that playoff run. So great win for the Raiders this week, man. Like Josh Jacobs, keep up pounding, give him the ball, let him do his job, keep following him. They're gonna be winning. And then the Texans, we know what's up with the Texans. Give Dameon Pierce the ball and just, hey. But one thing I want to say, yeah, hopefully he scores. But one thing I want to say about the Texans, Stingley Jr., I don't think he gave up a touchdown so far this year.
He did a good job against Devontae, actually. Like if you watch that game, he did a very, very good job against Devontae. Like he was impressive.
He was impressive against Devontae. He's been impressive all year long. Hey, I mean, like, not giving up a touchdown, especially with the defense he's playing in. Like he's the only good player on that side of the ball. So Stingley Jr., great rookie. You know, we always talk about Sauce Gardner, but we're gonna have to give some respect to Stingley Jr. But great one for the Raiders, though.
I've been trying to tell y'all about that guy Stingley, man. I call him Stingray, man. He's one of the best up and coming DBs in this league. But
Nah,
we
man,
hear about Sauce. We don't hear about him.
Nah, he up there for sure. He's nice. He's nice.
And the thing about Stingley, he's in a great situation, just like Sauce as well, because you know he's with a defensive minded coach, Lovie Smith, bro. Great defensive minded coach, one of the greatest defensive minded coaches out there in NFL history. And you know, you have him, and you know, just to have him mentor Stingley, it's only going to elevate his career. So this is, you know, great for Stingley, and it's also going to be great for Sauce as well. You know, I mean, having Robert Saleh as the defensive, you know, coach.
You guys are picked back to back, right? I'm pretty sure it was Stingley first. And then Sauce.
I mean, they were definitely back-to-back corners, like in the draft. I don't know about the numbers. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think both top 5 picks, because I know Jets had a top 5 pick, and I know Texans had a top 5 pick. But yeah, hey, nothing less about those two quarters, man. They're hoopers.
Yeah, they're dogs. But anyways, to go on to the Raiders, you know, seeing Josh Jacobs ball out, man, that was great to see. You know, to see him ball out like it was his rookie season again. You know, it's just great to see. It's great to see that you know, the Raiders coach is finally utilizing the run game. Like you said, obviously it's going to open up passing more for, you know, Devontae and Hunter and Darren, and it just won't be forced. Everything's going to go as smooth as it should be, and you know, the Raiders should be going after that, should get rolling. And honestly, the Raiders could, you know, be second in that division. Obviously, we all know Chiefs are going to win that division no matter what. And I think the Raiders, what gives them the extra advantage is that they also have chemistry, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put a team together in one training camp and just expect them to just ball out. You know what I mean? Like, we're seeing that with the Chargers. I mean, of course, you could add injuries into that, but it's just like, even before that, like, bro, like, they're losing, you know, games that they should win, and they're way too talented. You have Khalil Mack, you have Joey Bosa before he was hurt, you had J.C. Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're way too talented on the defensive end, and they're still losing. So it's just like at the end of the day,
J.C. Jackson's been garbage this year before he got hurt, man.
Bro,
now he's out for the year.
Yeah, now he's out for the year.
People were saying J.C. Jackson is better than Trevon Diggs.
I know he was like straight up, like they benched him for a game. That's how bad this guy was.
Yeah,
hey, like I said, Bill Belichick knows what he's doing.
Bill Belichick, like, he turns out these NPC corners. Like, who the hell is Jack Jones, Jonathan Jones, J.C. Jackson? Like, these guys that he just like puts out. Like, this guy's just generational when it comes to these cornerbacks, man.
Hey, but he knows what he's doing though, man. Like, he don't pay him 75 mil, 80 mil. It's like with that 4th year hit. Get the hell out of my team.
That's the Patriot way, man.
And J.C. Jackson's over here, man, getting cooked by Marquise Goodwin.
And then Sweet Fee Coop.
Their system corners, bro. That's all it is, man. And it's like, and something about Bill Belichick, bro. He knows when it just like, Bill Belichick's an asshole, man. I don't know.
He's definitely has an eye for talent, man.
The guy knows what he's doing.
He just uses and abuses them. Like, I'm like, what's going on, bro? Like,
this cornerback concentration camp.
Like, Bill Belichick, he's not right in it. I don't know, man. Something's not right with that guy. But I mean, obviously, he knows what he's doing, and I mean, as you know, like, I think J.C. Jackson is a system cornerback, and it's just, you know, obviously, the Chargers just need a better, you know, coach, and I don't know.
We're gonna get to the Chargers. We'll get to the
anyways,
in a little bit though.
But just to add on, it just goes to show, like, the Raiders can easily be second in that division, man, and they just got to continue with what they're doing right now with the run game, pounding the ball, get the ball to, you know, feed Jacobs, and then let the pass game just, you know, flow smoothly. So that's
I hear you guys on that, man. Josh Jacobs, he's in a contract year, so it's good to see him step up and look like one of the best running backs in this league. He's looking to get a payday, and it's looking like it in this offseason. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Seahawks on the road in Los Angeles, playing the Chargers. They win this one 37-23. As usual, we're gonna have Big H kick us off on this one.
Give me 1 second. Just 1 second. Abdi, go ahead, talk.
So, like, I've literally picked against this team like multiple times. Like I don't think there's been a single week where I've had them winning, like at all. And they've won again and again. Like I gotta stop going as Geno Smith, man. This guy's better than Aaron Rodgers right now. And who would have thought like anyone would say that in 2022 that Geno Smith is better than Aaron Rodgers? But like I gotta give credit to the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker, absolutely amazing running back. Like this running back class is just it just blows my mind how good it's been. But like let's switch over to the Chargers, man. Like people are criticizing Joe Burrow, right? Rightfully so in the beginning of the season, and he wasn't playing well, right? And Joe Burrow responded to that criticism. He's been playing amazing these last 2 weeks. Justin Herbert, the last 2 weeks, I believe, if my math is correct, has thrown 108 passes. Like legit has been just slinging the ball for nothing. Like nothing to show for it. And I get they beat the Broncos, but it wasn't like he was overly impressive. And then this week, he was Mr. Checkdown King. Everything to Austin Eckler, everything short. This guy put on his Seahawks jersey, hilarious. But Mike Williams, if I'm him, I'm pissed. Like I'm doing cardio. Like they have this guy running go routes, and then just to check down to Austin Eckler. Like this offense, like, and I get people have been criticizing the head coaching, but it's not like Justin Herbert's been great. The guy hasn't been good at all. He's just been checking down everything, and to me, it's just more proof why I think Joe Burrow is better than Justin Herbert. Like three of us have said this before. I'm not too high on Justin Herbert. I feel like he's getting highly overrated, and people are putting him ahead of guys like Lamar Jackson. So disrespectful. But Justin Herbert hasn't been great. Like this guy's been check down king these last 2 weeks. So it's a good win for the Seahawks, man, and they continue to churn out wins. Like coming to the season, we said this was going to be a rebuild year for the Seahawks, and like they've just been able to win games. And it's not like these guys are just like, oh, they've been kind of just like fighting for wins. No, like they've been dominating some teams and they've been putting up some points. And that's exactly what they did to the Chargers. And man, big up to those rookies, man. Kenneth Walker, Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant. They have a lot of talented guys on that team. So
hey man, I'm very excited about my Seahawks this year, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This guy Geno Smith, you see the ball placements he had on those touchdown passes? It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful, especially to Marquise Goodwin. I didn't even know we had Marquise Goodwin. He just came out of nowhere. Like, he really came out of nowhere. I got my DK jersey on, you know what I'm saying? But sad day for my guy. He hurt his knee. He might be missing a couple of weeks. But let's talk about Kenneth Walker. Wow. We finally got a running back that we can trust, hopefully stays healthy and be our future for the next 5 to 6 years. Like, this guy can run the ball. He can hit the holes. He can go outside. He can cut in. He's quick. He's heavy. He's strong. It's beautiful what we got going on offense. Like we got something rolling right now. We really do got something rolling. I feel like the first couple of weeks our defense kind of started off slow, but these last couple of weeks I feel like now we're starting to pick up. The chemistry is there with the defense. These rookies are balling out. Darrell Taylor, man, he had a fantastic game last week against the Chargers. It's beautiful, man. It's all because Pete Carroll. I was against Pete Carroll this past offseason, but he opened my eyes, and it just showed me that a lot of the problem last year and the years in the past, it was probably Russell Wilson and him trying to, go against Pete Carroll's wishes and the way the offense is supposed to be ran. We got Geno, a guy that's, he listens to Pete Carroll, trusts the offense, and it works perfect, and it's working perfectly fine for us. So, whew, man, I told you guys to pick the Seahawks this week. Yeah,
man, I gotta say, man, I might be done going against this team.
And the way the offense is ran with the tight ends and the play action calls, Kenneth Walker in the run game, it opens it up so much. I feel like our team is very diverse on the offensive end, and especially with the Broncos pick next year, I'm very excited with that pick. But enough about my Seahawks, man. Every week I come on here and I'm telling them, we one of the best teams in our division. Like, we got to be honest. Like, right now, we're number one. Other teams got some problems, and I feel like we're hitting it right now. So let me talk about the Chargers now. Let me talk about that boy, Justin Herbert. Last week, 56 passes, and he didn't throw a touchdown. This week, 51 passes. Did he have 2 touchdowns or 1 touchdown this week?
I believe he had a couple touchdowns.
Did he have a couple? I know
Yeah.
Eckler had a running touchdown. I know Mike Will had one catching touchdown. Who else scored for them?
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns. He threw one to, I think Michael
Palmer?
Williams got in the end zone.
Mike Will got in the end zone. Was it Eckler the other one?
I believe Austin Eckler was the other one. Yeah, Austin
Like I
Eckler.
said, late game touchdowns for him. It's like the offense. I don't know what to say, man. Like we get on Joe. A lot of people gets on Joe Burrow for offensive line play, but they don't blame the offensive line. They come after Burrow saying he has to be better in the pocket. He has to make better passes. He has to find his receivers. I'm going to put the same on Justin Herbert. You cannot throw the ball 51 times and dump it off 30 times to Austin Eckler and call yourself a top 5 quarterback. It's not going to work like that. I just don't get the hype, man. We pushing Herbert top 5, but last year didn't make the playoffs. This year, it's looking like they're not going to make the playoffs. And a lot of people are still pushing, oh, he's top 5. He's doing this. He's doing that. He has his targets. Like, although he's missing Keenan, his security blanket, but you still have Austin Eckler. You still have a guy named Mike Williams that you pay $75 million for that you can trust, but you're sending him on go routes and you're not throwing him the ball. So he's putting in cardio most of the time in the game. And then you go to him end game. Hey, right here, 5-yard dump offs, 10-yard dump offs, whatever, get your stats up. It ain't going to work for me. It ain't going to work for me. I don't know about Herbert, man. I feel like a lot of people try to protect him. I feel like he's playing scared in the pocket. He's just getting the dump offs to Eckler. Hey, Eckler, do your job. 15-yard catch, yards after catch. But him throwing the ball down the field it's not there. It's not there. So I feel like we got to pump the brakes on this team. We got to pump the brakes on Justin Herbert. A lot of people are saying J.C. Jackson is a top 5 cornerback. He hasn't played like a top 5 cornerback. That defense, Derwin James hasn't really made much noise since their first couple of wins. He's been really quiet the last 3 to 4 weeks. So there's a lot going on for San Diego. Pump the brakes on Herbert, man. Like guys over like Lamar, Burrows, it's crazy to me. People said that. So great win for Seattle. See us rise 4-3. Who we facing this week?
Giants.
Woo! It's gonna be a fight.
It's gonna be a real test for you guys.
This is a fight. The Giants got a real defense, man, and they got a fantastic coach. So we'll see what happens. But 4-3, baby, number 1 in the division, man.
I gotta give credit to Seattle. Of course, like I said, I've been going against them, but I gotta tip my hat to Pete Carroll, man. He's been getting his name dragged through the mud throughout the end of Russell Wilson's tenure in Seattle because of the play calling and not letting Russ cook. But I mean, the system is working perfectly fine for a guy like Geno Smith. He's just really good. He's come in there, and if you listen to your coach, there's a clip I think, like somewhere in the midpoint of the game. I think it was 3rd or 4th quarter. Geno Smith, they threw a flag on Seattle. It's like a third and long. Geno Smith's yelling at the coach, but Pete Carroll looked at him. He's like, "Yo, just calm down, breathe in, breathe out. You got it." And Geno Smith, he converted that 3rd down, and there's just those two guys. They're really their chemistry and their connection, their relationship it's really been shown on full effect, full display this year. Those two guys have been great in communicating with each other, and there's no issues on letting the ball go because of course we're seeing Geno Smith just rip it. Of course, like those 2 touchdowns to Marquise Brown. Marquise Goodwin.
Marquise Goodwin.
Like, come on, man. Like, like Big A said, I didn't even know he was still on the team, and he's out there making plays. All the credit to Seattle, man. Of course, we could talk about Kenneth Walker in that run game. He's just one special talent. Seattle sitting at 4-3. Nobody expected this to be at the top of their division with the Niners and division with the Rams. We all thought this was going to be a rebuild year, but I think Geno Smith and Pete Carroll had other plans. So this is a good one for the Seattle Seahawks. And the Chargers, I got nothing left to say about them, man. I had high hopes for them this year, and they're just not living up to their expectations. And you could put the blame all on Herbert and the coach and all you want. Like, no matter how you cut the cake, is the problem all comes down to one guy, and that's your starting quarterback, and he's just not playing well right now. And it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, man, I want to give a big shout out to Seattle, right? I'm a big firm believer in Geno. You know what I mean? I can't lie. What was the quote he said? They wrote me off, but I ain't right back. You know what I mean? Shout out to
listen, that quote is going down like the books. Like, come on now. That's one of the most legendary quotes I ever heard. You know what I'm saying? And to back it up and come back and win a couple more games like that, it just shows you that he's about it. He's really about it.
Yeah, and he's been playing like a top 10 quarterback this season. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, stats don't lie. You know what I mean? He's been balling out. He's got his team as, best in the division. And Geno Smith has been through a lot, man. So it's good to see him win. It's good to see, him succeed and see the Seattle Seahawks succeed as well. And it's, looking like they fleece Denver, you know what I'm saying? With this whole trade package, getting Swag Man, getting Noah Fan and 2 firsts and a couple other picks. You know what I mean? It's looking very, very, very good in Seattle for the future and as of right now as well. So y'all just got to keep hoping and keep praying that the
Mhm.
Broncos don't turn around and go on a win streak from right now. You
Hey,
know
like
what I'm
I said, like you see, like the way Gino, it's the same playbook. It's no difference, bro. But if
saying?
you look at the games, it's like, yo, we're telling Gino, let the play fall through. Just stay in the pocket. Just stay in the pocket. You trust your old line. Stay in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pocket, and it's working. And it's working.
He's balling out.
What we had with Wilson was, hey, okay, Wilson, if the play doesn't, go ahead, do what you got to do, and that doesn't work, man. You cannot let a quarterback just, hey, I'm 2 seconds, 3 seconds, I'm gonna run out the pocket, and hopefully DK or Tyler Lockett get somewhat open. We're seeing the pocket presence with Gino that he has right now, and the way the play is developing, he's letting his receivers finish it off, and it's all that trust between him and Pete Carroll. So
Yeah. And as well too, like I gotta give a big shout out to the defense too, man. Like, Tariq, was it Woolen?
Tariq
Woodrum?
Tariq
Woolen,
Woolen.
Well, yeah, he's balling out. Kobe Bryant, right?
Kobe Bryant, that's
Yeah,
my
he's
guy.
been balling out as well. So, I mean, the secondary in general, they Quandre Diggs, you know what I mean? Man, I just can't imagine if Blitz boy Jamal Adams was on this team right now. You know what I'm saying?
Like for me, I have stuff against Blitzboy, but the way our back four is playing right now, like
I mean, just
we can
yeah,
fit him in, like we
yeah.
really,
Imagine just
really,
fitting him in right there, like just like
really could fit. And
they
it
can
can
do
help. It can help
yeah
the run game a lot.
they could do bit more damage. So shout out to the secondary as well. Like I just even coming from the start of the season, I did not expect the Seahawks to be this good, and I did not I still got to give a lot of big shout out, big respect, and to Gino, because I didn't even think Gino would keep this up, and I thought Swag Man would come in and take over and have the 206 rocking, but that's not the case. So yeah, got to give a big shout out to them. And then the Chargers, man, it's just like like y'all all said, it's very disappointing to see what they're what's going on with them and how they're playing. And a lot of people had high hopes for them. I know I did as well. Didn't expect them to be this bad, and obviously injuries do play a part of it, but it's still just unfortunate to see the downfall and see how bad that they're just playing, and they're not it just like every week it just goes to show like they're not making any improvements to get any better. So they just I don't know what's going on out there in LA. I don't know if they need to move cities and go back to San Diego and you know what I mean, get focused or something, but I don't know what's going on, man. They just really need to just fix up by this week and get things done. If not, then it is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Kansas City Chiefs on the road playing the San Francisco 49ers. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, won this one 44-23. I know Josh Allen took the week off due to the bye week, but Mahomes, man, his MVP case is getting stronger by the week. He had a 451-yard passing game and 3 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah.
Hell of a game.
After the early start, I mean, Mahomes got right to work. I mean, they're kind of slowed down in the beginning, and the Niners kind of went up, and then after that, just Mahomes did not let up. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. I don't know what was up with the Niners coverage. It just felt like they couldn't cover it. Nobody in this team. Juju Smith went off. Mecole Hardman went off. Travis Kelce, he got his 98 yards, I believe. It's just like the Niners had no chance of stopping this offense. They just cooked. It was nice seeing CMC out there for a couple of reps. He looked explosive and good as ever. So it's gonna be nice seeing him on a full slate of reps next week, hopefully. But again, this Niners defense, they've been decimated by injuries, but again, they just couldn't cover Patrick Mahomes. So it is what it is. That guy's going for the MVP.
We know what Mahomes does. You know what I'm saying? He hooped, like he said, 451 yards, 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. We know what he's going to do. I want to speak about the Chiefs defense. I was on preseason predictions. I said this was one of the worst defenses in the league. Now I gotta hold myself accountable. This Chiefs defense came into this game, this last couple of games to be exact, they've been not too bad, especially this game over here. I know Jimmy G taxed and everything like that, but after the first half, man, they really clamped down. They really showed up and they really made some stops. So shout out to the defense for showing up, playing great. And then on the Niners side, man, defensively a lot of injuries going on. Offensive side of the ball, feel like they got healthy. Did Trent Williams come back this week? I'm pretty sure.
Back.
They got him back. I mean, after the first 2 touchdowns, they just looked very lethargic after that. Like you look at the first 2-3 drives, they were getting Kittle involved. They were moving the ball down. Ayuk was touching the ball, and then bam, it just slowed down. And once you let Mahomes goes off, it's over. Once that that score goes up, they score, you score 3, they come back with a touchdown. You're done. It's tough to come back from that. So Niners, what, sitting at 3-4?
3-4.
3-4, man. I mean, CMC came in. I felt like he could have had more touches. It looked like he could have had a lot more touches on the game. I don't know. I don't know if that's me. I feel like he could have been more involved. I mean, I know he's in shape and everything. I don't think the playbook is too hard to figure out as a running back because a lot of the plays are simple. A lot of the plays are the same. But I'm not gonna hit the panic button on the Niners at all. But Mahomes got his MVP. He's getting back in track. Good one for the Chiefs, man. So
Yeah. I think yeah, it's a humongous win for not humongous, but it's a big, win for the Chiefs. But I think this is, I'm excited for the Niners actually. I mean, I know it's a tough loss for them, but I'm excited for them, for the future and them adding CMC. I mean, this is gonna open up a lot for, Kittle, finally getting to see Kittle. Hopefully we get to see Kittle more in the passing game. Because when he's in that passing game, this Niners offense is legit. We get to see Debo as a receiver, mainly. So I want to see how that works. See, obviously, Brandon Ayuk is cooking right now, and then Christian McCaffrey's going to do his thing. So yeah, I'm really excited for the Niners' future. But yeah, it was a tough loss for them this week. I mean, like Ham just said, they're cooking in the first half, getting their touches, but in the second half it just slowed down, and then obviously Mahomes was on a roll and he couldn't stop him. And the Niners' defense it's not it right now. So. Tough loss, but I mean, I think the Niners are, hopefully if they can just get a roll in, I think they're in good shape. And then obviously they're Chiefs. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs, man, they came in here and they did what they were supposed to do. The Niners, of course, like I said in our predictions episode, I would love to see this matchup being a Super Bowl rematch. If the Niners had their guys healthy on defense, I know they had a couple guys in there, but with the acquisition of CMC, I know Big H said, of course, you want to get more involved in the game, but he can only study the playbook so much on one flight because that was what he did. He asked for the playbook on the flight to the Bay Area. But I feel like moving forward, the Niners, of course, with this move that they made, they're going all in. They're having a similar mindset to the Los Angeles Rams. They're trying to go all in and win the Super Bowl. I feel like they're putting themselves in the best position possible. So I'm not really too worried about this Niners team. They'll figure this thing out with Christian McCaffrey. Their offense it's going to be pretty nice to watch because of how explosive their run game is, and you got a guy like CMC to that, so you could throw a lot of packages out there, confuse a lot of defenses. So it's gonna a lot of teams that go up against them moving forward. They got another interesting matchup against the Rams next week. So I know the Rams aren't too happy about that. So good one for the Chiefs. Mahomes, he's just lucky that Josh Allen had the week off. Everybody has a bye week, so his MVP case is getting stronger and stronger, like I said. But overall, good one for them. We'll go ahead and move on to our Sunday night football matchup. The Steelers versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins won this one 16-10. Tua came back, didn't look too good though.
We all picked Miami, right?
We did.
I feel like we got lucky with a W. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I'm gonna just chalk this up as rust for Tua.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just say this first game back from his concussion, and there's not much to write home about this game in general. It wasn't particularly that entertaining. The Steelers, of course, offensively they have no direction, so Miami just needed to get back on track, and this is the type of game that they need. Of course, it wasn't like their usual explosive selves, but they'll take this win. Tua needed to shake off rust, and that's exactly what they did.
Tua, they like I said, I'd say they really needed this W. I mean, they stole it. I feel like the Steelers defense, man, they dropped 4 interceptions. It was just nasty. Literally, like the ball in their hands, and it just goes down to the ground. And it's like, come on, you gotta like. For the offense, for their offense, they're not moving the ball. But when defense like that get opportunities, you have to take those opportunities. 4 times, it's crazy. And I'm pretty sure Pickett, he threw 3 interceptions or 4.
He threw maybe 3.
3. And you can see how it changes the landscape. One guy throws 3 interceptions, the other team drops 4 interceptions, and they barely won by 6 points. So like for me, Miami skate by with a W. It was good for them. Tua rust coming back off missing 2.5 weeks. It's been a while for him, so it's okay for him to have a bad game and come back. But the defense held on their own. Raheem Mostert balled out, and I'm pretty sure Tyreek and Waddle had good days. So good one for Miami. They escaped out, but the Steelers defense, man, they're punching themselves in the head. They had opportunities and they couldn't capitalize. You're mute.
Sorry. Yeah, I can't lie to y'all. I didn't watch this game last night. But but I had Tyreek Hill in fantasy, so I knew Tyreek Hill had a decent and okay game. But I can't really speak much on this, but yeah, it was great to, seen, like a little bit of the highlights. So it was great to see Tua was back, but I mean, he's still got a long way to go. And it's still scary to just, see him out there and, wondering if he's going to take a hit and stuff like that. So, I mean, the Dolphins, I mean, as long as they got Tua and as long as they're healthy, they still, they're gonna do what they were expected to do, like, hopefully hoping to do, like, get into the playoffs, stuff like that. But I think they just gotta take it week by week, and they just gotta play more like, safe. And I mean, the defense is a great team. The Dolphins are a great team, so that is what it is. And the Steelers, they suck flat out. The defense is good, but they suck. I don't know what to tell you. Like Najee Harris, hometown, Bay Area
Bro,
kid. But
Najee is slower than 2022 Zeke. Bro, that's crazy.
hey, Zeke
Hey,
was
That's
hurt,
slow.
bro. Stop.
I
Stop with
ain't
the
running
Zeke
like
hate.
5. Hey,
You
I
see
ain't
this?
running like
You
5.
see how he says I want to add the Cowboys in and stuff? He's always gonna add Cowboys hate. Like no matter what, any chance he gets, he's gonna throw it in there.
In 5 years, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm faster than 90 to the whole.
Bro. And it's really ridiculous right now. And that's who they're banking on offense, bro. Like real talk. So it's like the guy that you're banking on is moving like Eddie Lacy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's going on? And then your quarterback is out here, like he's a rookie, he's out here just throwing picks. So I mean, it is what it is, man. I think the Steelers, they just, like I said, they just suck. But the only thing that's keeping them afloat right now is a defense and like these lucky just throws. So yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good win for the Dolphins, knowing what they went through with Tua. I mean, they lost 3 straight games without him. So to have him back out there and Tyreek and Waddle to still do a little bit of damage. They didn't crack over 100 yards, but I mean, that was just Tua shaking off the rust, like we said. So I think their defense had a hell of a game. They did what they're supposed to do. So you mix that in with Tua just, getting back on track and shaking off the rust. We're going to see a lot of games again, like in the past, where Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle go off. So this is a good one for the Dolphins. They're getting right back on track, and they're one of the best teams in the AFC. They're going to be contending for a playoff spot, and who knows what they can make a deep push. But we'll go ahead and close things out with our Monday Night Football matchup: the Chicago Bears versus the New England Patriots. Not too sure if anybody watched this game, but the Bears won this one 33-14.
2 Zappe drives. Other than that, I was like, yes, I'm turning off.
I watched the better version of Mac Jones through 2 touchdowns and then again proceed to commit like 2 turnovers. So I mean, the Bears. I feel like Justin Fields had a pretty positive game. It's a good step. It's a good step in the right direction. He had a solid game, in my opinion. The Bears finally are utilizing him in a better fashion, and he had a solid game. And I feel like Bill Belichick is gonna be making a tough decision. He sees how bad the offense was with Mac Jones, and then for the backup quarterback to come in and throw 2 touchdowns. I understand he had turnovers later on, but I mean, he gave the offense a boost. So Bill Belichick has like a decision to make right now. Like, does he want to move forward with Mac Jones as a starting quarterback, or does he want to go with the backup who has been playing well in his absence? So it's a good win for the Bears, and I feel like they've been able to kind of string in some wins here. If they had gotten that win against Washington, I mean, they'd probably be better than us. So there's that. So I mean, the Bears are heading in the right direction. We had them finishing 2 or 3 games, 3 wins.
They already touched it.
They already touched it, so maybe they can string a couple more. But again, it's a good step in the right direction for the development of Justin Fields. So good win.
Yeah, today what I saw from Justin Fields, man, he looked fantastic. Passing the ball, running the ball. The only turnover he had, I'm pretty sure, was a tip ball at the line. It was a pick. Other than that, he played fantastic in the game. He controlled most of the game. And to see him ball out finally, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We had some questions about him. And then Patriots, man, like I said, they do have a decision to make. I thought they were going to come in this week and win, but I don't know. Blake Zach came in after Mac Jones threw a pick. He came out hot, 2 touchdowns. And then after that, it was just mediocre. A lot of mediocreness on the team. And from offensive end to defensive end, they did not play well. I feel like, I don't know. It was just a bad game from them. So Bill Belichick, he got, a task at hand. He got to decide who, you got to go with your number 1 overall, not number 1 overall pick, but your first round overall pick in Mac Jones, or you go with the guy that you drafted 5th round, Blake Zappi, that has been playing fantastic the last couple of weeks, bar this week. So tough decisions to be made in the Patriots. Good one for the Bears. Good one for the Bears.
Yeah, I don't think it's a tough decision for the Patriots at all. I mean, you start Mac Jones. I mean, flat out. This Bailey Zapp kid, I mean, cool. He had one big play to Devontae, Parker. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of, huh?
Yeah, Devontae and Jacoby Myers. I was just adding on to what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, Mac Jones, I mean, he's obviously should be the starting quarterback for this team. You know, it happens. There's weeks, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't think this should be a big deal. I just think I mean, I was hearing reports, I don't know if it's even true or not, but like they're saying Mac Jones needs to be humbled or something. So I mean, I think this is the humbling experience, and I think, you know, hopefully Mac and the Patriots and Bill, you know, can get over this and it boils over, and you know, the Patriots just, you know, keep balling up. But at the end of the day, Justin Fields did good. I mean, that was great to see as well. Um, him throwing on the run, uh, running and stuff like that. It was nice, but he still. I think the Bears are not going to do anything at all significant unless they start getting legit wide receiver pieces and legit like offensive pieces for Justin Fields and this Bears offense.
O-line. That's what I feel like they got to do.
Yeah, I mean, they also need some wide receiver, bro. This wide receiver play is terrible. Like they need a wide receiver one, and then they obviously need to fix up that O line, and then, you know, Justin Fields. We'll see the rise of Justin Fields. So
Like we've been seeing Justin Fields get better and better each and every week. Of course, he's going to have his moments where he struggles, but they're starting to figure this thing out with him, that he's just not. You can't just contain him in the pocket. He had 14 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown tonight. So utilizing him on the ground and, you know, having him run the ball, that's where you're going to be most successful with Justin Fields. And Bill Belichick in this quarterback situation he got going on, I completely understand why he pulled Mac Jones out and went with Bailey Zappi, because this was definitely a winnable game against the Chicago Bears. So of course Mac Jones is struggling. You just bring in a guy that just got a win against the Cleveland Browns and has been playing well for you in his absence. So this week is just going to be an interesting week in how he approaches the whole situation, who's going to get the first team reps and stuff like that. But I think it should be Mac Jones. You just throw him out there one more time, and depending on who they play, and then it is what it is from there. Because of course we all know the Patriots aren't really doing anything this year. So, but it was Bailey Zappi. He had, you know, Netflix Mac Jones. He had his moments. You know, of course he came in there, gave him a little bit of a spark, but it didn't amount to anything after that. So how good was he in reality when we really put it into perspective? Like of course Mac Jones was terrible. Bailey Zappi started off hot, but then came right back down to earth and came back.
Back to back drives, right? Back to back drives, and then after that it was just.
After that, he was pretty much
blank.
a no-show. So, you know, like I completely understand.
After the beginning of the second quarter,
just a no-show after that, you know. So I understand when you guys talking about like tough decisions. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But that pretty much wraps up week 7. I want to go ahead and get to our predictions and our records. So everybody finished with the 8-5 record. Nobody got one up on each other. Abdi's still in the lead with 61 wins, 46 losses, and 1 tie. I'm right behind him with 55 wins, 55 losses, and 1 tie. And Big H is in third with 51 wins, 56 losses, and 1 tie. So,
man, these last 3 weeks, I feel like we've been getting in ties too much.
We haven't really been like, you know, taking any home run hits. I mean, we tried, but like we get a win somewhere and then we lose another win.
No, I'm just telling y'all, like the last 3 weeks, y'all could have had an extra one with, you know, Seattle. You feel me? Like every week I tell you, it's an extra one with Seattle. Could have added on.
I'm gonna go back into the lab, and I think I'm gonna cut this lead. I'm gonna cut this 6-point lead to like a 3-point lead next week. I think if I go ahead and make the right moves and make the right predictions, make the right calls, I think I'll be all right. But any final words before we sign off?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, you know, great to be a part of this episode. So shout out to New Media. Thank you all for allowing me to be a part of this episode and ranting about the Cowboys and just ranting and talking about sports and NFL in general. So I appreciate it, and I love what y'all are doing and talking about, and I can't wait for y'all to keep growing and keep succeeding. So thank you.
Man, let me shout out my brother's music one time. You know what I'm saying? Wave, the outro is his song. Go tap into him, get him some streams. You feel me? That's my love. That's my cousin. That's my big brother. I love you, man.
I love y'all too. I love you too.
We appreciate you for, you know, putting aside some time to come join us today. You know, of course, the Cowboys keep doing well. We'd love to have you back. You know, talking more about the Cowboys. Our doors are always open for you.
I got to be back specifically for the Cowboys and Packers after that game.
What, 2 weeks?
And it's like, what, 3 weeks? Yeah. So we definitely gotta be on that one specifically.
You got a bone to pick with Abdi on that one, man. Especially with the way the Packers have been playing. But
they might have a chance.
We'll go ahead and close things out here. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. We really appreciate your love and support. We really appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Media Podcast. For those of you that are watching us on YouTube, all of our social media handles will be in the beginning of this video. And if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, if you go to our Instagram page at New Media Podcast, you'll be able to navigate yourself to all of our social media handles there. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Mahad, for joining us. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
All right, fellas.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Being out late now, that's overkill.